be against. Undermining women's success. Joy Behar stunned viewers when she said Donald Trump's president...
Showtime in 60 seconds.
Caroline Leavitt only secured her position because of her good looks.
I think she's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a
45 seconds.
Warren Sapp was arrested for speaking not too long ago.
I got you going 63 to 30.
I realize you were Warren Sapp.
You was gonna handle this, right?
Arrested him?
30 seconds. The show will start in 15 seconds, and this is your last audible warning.
I speak with Warren Sapp directly as my source.
Both of their booties. You might want to put my chart. Oh, okay. No, I had that choice.
I speak with Warren.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
By the way, Lovey, I like how he was like, "Oh yeah, we were killing everybody. I was the best coach." Then we find out he's a bench coach. I mean, he's not even pulling the strings right
I
there.
didn't say I was the best coach. I didn't.
You kind of did.
Sounded like you were a head coach.
No, my wife was.
You said you were.
Oh, she really was?
Yes, we were the coaching duo on the team. We had parents come up to us and say that they've had other experiences in other leagues before, and they just loved the way we ran everything. And we, I mean, look, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right.
Did you butt heads with your wife at all? As far?
Oh, we had some issues.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
Welcome. Monday, February 17th, the Bubba the Love Sponge show. I'm back after a two-day hiatus, one of which was filled in. And I where am I getting the feedback from? After a two-day hiatus. There it is right there. Okay, I'm sorry, go bad. I did not get a chance to listen to any of it, but by all accounts, Seth and Lummy and Rhett and whoever and Babyface absolutely nailed it on Friday, which goes to show I could even take more time off because the show, one, did great numbers. Two, I got a lot of great positive feedback on Seth's hosting ability with the Babyface kicker. And three, it brought in the money. It brought in pretty good money. So, I mean, that opens a whole new door of being able to take off some time for you guys.
Well, I still have all my time accrued.
What? I'm sorry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
don't shut me out, Sponjo.
No,
okay?
I don't want to, my friend.
Thank you. I've got a lot of time, time off accrued as well.
Well, you get going back to our.
I got 2 weeks from this year, and then I got a week I rolled over from last year.
Oh, we're rolling over now?
No, there's
I got a rollover.
No, there's no rollovers.
Okay.
Here's what everybody gets. Everybody gets a certain amount of vacation that I take, and then you get 4 personal days and 3 sick days. And I'm going to make that 5 personal days, Lummy, because that's a week. If you'd want to take a week, you could eat up all 5 of your personal days, and then you'd have 3 sick days left for the year.
Well, thank you.
So I'm assuming that's what Rhett's going to do for his week off for his cruise. So, but I'm looking at I'm kind of throwing it out there as to if everybody would want to take the same week off as a kind of a show vacation that Rhett's taking, which would then be a show vacation, and Rhett wouldn't have to use any of his personal days because it would be a show vacation. So you guys get a majority of the show vacations plus 5 days plus 3 days. So if I take off the 17th through the 21st, then it doesn't count against any of Rhett's personal days. It's a show vacation. Now, there will be some times I take off that I ask you guys to fill in, and that's obviously my time off and not yours. But if we could coordinate where you guys would want to take off when I take off, then it would not be counted against any of your personal days and or sick days. If you're confused, so am I.
Are you planning on going to Indiana soon?
No,
okay.
I don't know what I would do. I actually might take my mom on a little mini vacation.
Oh, that's nice.
But my mom's idea as she gets older.
Is it a cruise?
No, yeah, probably. But I think we'll just be staying at home, going to Culver's at 4 and her playing shuffleboard at 2.
That's not a vacation.
Well, that's for her. It's a vacation.
You being able to sleep in.
Yeah, that to me is a vacation. Even if I just stayed home, being able to sleep in till 10 o'clock, that's a vacation. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't even really, to be honest with you, like going anywhere. So my question to you guys would you like to take the 17th to the 21st of March off as a show vacation? Well, you know what? You guys have kids, so you probably would want to do a vacation maybe centered around your kids' spring break.
Which is the Christmas week, which I believe is the week before that.
Did you said Christmas week?
I mean, Easter week.
When's Easter?
It's it's around the 17th, 18th, that weekend.
Of
March.
No, I don't think it is.
It's that early?
No. Easter is in you're a month late, buddy.
Am I?
You're a month.
That's when the spring break
it's
is.
the 20th of April.
Yeah.
It's April. Oh, it's
Easter.
Easter
spring break then.
Easter is
that
Good
far away?
Good Friday. Good Friday is on Friday the 19th, and Easter is on Sunday the 20th.
Yes.
Seth, do you know Sammy's spring break? Right off the top of your head?
Yeah, no, but we could just whatever, man. I don't take any vacations. I just
You're like
whatever
me.
happens.
You just hang around the house looking for. Maybe go to a card show.
I mean,
something like that. Maybe go to a Daniel Rhodes other side of the coast card show.
Yeah.
That's the extent of it.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Would anybody? Because if we don't take the 17th to the 21st, then it ends up just being an all Rhett deal. He has to eat up his personal days. If we take it as a show vacation, then it doesn't eat into his personal days. And I think that we've gone now quite not. You guys have gone longer than me from taking time off, but I'm just physically and mentally tired. Even when I'm off work, I'm up there busting my ass at the racetrack. Thank God it's over. But I do have a race on the 15th and then the Tour of Destruction on the 29th. But, is there anybody interested in taking the 17th through the 21 off? Or should we just let that be, the Rhett deal?
If everyone else, I can look and see what I got going on if anyone else wants to take it.
The week before is better for me, but whatever. It's not nothing. I'm such a small factor in this.
I don't want to make it confusing.
And I'm not even sure what you guys are really talking about.
It's so tough, Dan. As arrogant as you are and narcissistic as you are, those words are really tough to come out of your mouth. I'm such an insignificant factor into this.
Yeah, well, it's getting more so, it seems, these days. But
what do you want? Are you talking about life or the show?
Everything.
But, come on. Hold on. Shut up. You're cemented. You are cemented in our Monday, Tuesday guy, and you're cemented into the show. You know that.
I'm teasing.
Please.
But listen,
quit being a little bitch.
But I'm not. But listen, the week before I may be out of town.
Okay. Well, see.
So, but Dan, can I ask a question?
Dan.
I don't know what happened.
Dan.
A week ago.
Dan.
What?
The personal and sick days don't apply to those that aren't picking up a paycheck.
Right.
So you can take as much time. I mean, how am I to say, Dan, you cannot miss Monday or Tuesday? I'm not paying you, buddy. I'm just saying, those rules don't apply to you, Jay, or Brian. So what were you going to say now?
I'm confused as to what this Rhett thing was, because when I left last week, there was no even discussion of such things, and now we're moving show around him. What did I miss?
I don't know
what I missed.
I don't think there's anything to do. I think Bubba wants to take time off, and he just sees that with Rhett going
here's
out
the
of
deal.
town.
Rhett's going out of town. Okay.
Rhett wasn't working here when I left last time.
Rhett was working here. He was working remotely.
Oh.
Okay. We're trying to clean the slate.
You know things change faster around here, Dan.
I didn't understand.
We're trying,
so God bless Rhett. Okay,
we're trying
cool.
to start over and clean the slate. Okay,
cool.
All right. Cooler heads have prevailed. All right. So Rhett, before he got in trouble, asked for the 17th to the 21st off.
Gotcha.
Now, if we take that all collectively as a vacation, Rhett doesn't get charged any personal day. He'll take all 4 of his personal days and a sick day, leaving only 2 additional sick days throughout the year, other than the vacation we take as a show.
Gotcha.
What I'm saying is, and I'm trying to actually do Rhett a favor here.
Yes, I see that. Okay. Which is what surprised. I didn't understand the motivation because when I left, like I said,
that just shows you how good of a boss I am.
You're so
I want to extend it.
You're just a soft little bitch.
I'm also a prick at times, but I wanted to extend an olive branch to Rhett and say if we could cumulatively agree that would be a good time for all of us to take a week vacation, then to recharge our batteries and what have you, then it wouldn't cost him 4 personal days and 1 sick day.
Why don't you just give him paid vacation?
Because I can't do that.
I would be. I mean, I could do some traveling for spring training. So
okay,
I would be.
So hold on. So far, Lummy,
you're forcing Lummy into a vacation.
No, I'm not forcing anybody.
I can take Walker
right now. The way it stands,
not gonna go skiing.
Right now, the way it stands, it's going to cost Rhett his 4 personal days and 1 sick day. If we cumulatively agree that we're going to take it off as a show. One, Lummy, you got to bust your ass on 5 days of best ofs.
Yes,
under the new guys.
Yep.
But we would all have that. We would all have it off. It wouldn't cost anybody anything because we're taking it off as a show. So that's my proposal. Go back to your significant others. Look at the dates. It's 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. That would be a week's vacation. That would be kind of like our spring break vacation, so to speak. And it wouldn't cost Rhett anything because it would just be a show vacation.
Do you feel bad, sir? Do you feel bad about last week? I feel like we went from this guy asked me for paid time off to we should have the whole show take off so Rhett doesn't have to use his days off.
I really appreciate it.
I don't feel bad. I feel as if him and I have a good understanding as to what happened. I think him and I are both going to work on it not happening again. And I was looking through my calendar and looking at I'm dead ass tired. Usually I take a week off in March or April.
Yes, you have.
So if I could coincide, I don't really have much going on. If I look at it, let me see if I look at April. I don't have a lot going on.
It looks like last year. It looks like you took some time in March off.
Yeah. So if all of us want to recharge our batteries and we would agree that this would be a great week to take off, it would be doing Rhett a favor.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to cover all bases, if you will.
Thank you. That opens up. I mean, because who knows if next year would be able to do that? I could go on a little spring training trip.
Yeah, you could go like you could go down to Punta Gorda and see the Red Sox. You could go into over to Clearwater and see the Phillies.
Port St. Lucie for the Mets.
You could go,
the East Coast, the West Coast.
Every day you could catch. You and walk.
Yep.
I'm sure Ashley might she'd either take off or maybe work.
Yep.
And just be you in the walk.
You're planning Lummy's fourth vacation.
No, Bubba is 100% on my
Seth, you little hater bitch. I'm picking up on what he's throwing out.
Michael Record,
he threw
25.
He threw out there. That would be a great week for him and Walker to catch some spring break games. That's what he threw out.
He's not going anywhere.
No, I think I am. And
he goes everywhere. Lummy goes out more than anyone I've ever met.
He does.
He is out there. He is a man of the street.
He does.
It's unbelievable. He does everything.
Out of all of us, that guy will go to a USF softball game. That guy will go to a USF. Listen, USF girls softball could be Thursday night. He's hitting it.
Yeah.
USF girls basketball could be Saturday night. He's hitting it. USF men's basketball could be Friday night. He's hitting it.
And he'll do 3 in a day though. He'll do like 3. He'll do like a softball game in the morning, a basketball game in the afternoon, and then go to a concert in the evening.
And then Sunday,
stud, dude.
Sunday, it could be the Tarpons taking on the Rays minor league team, doubleheader Willie. He'll hit that bitch too.
Right.
That's unbelievable. He's got got the stamina. Where do you get the money for all these goddamn tickets?
Oh, his wife's loaded.
Yeah, but then also the college games are really cheap too.
Okay.
He's alma mater. I mean, he pretty much doesn't even have to pay. They just walks in.
I walk in.
He's Johnny USF.
He played with Stein in 2001.
So everybody, Rhett. I'm sorry. I know Rhett needs it. I need Seth, Lummy, and Macho Man to look at those. To look at the 17th through the 21st. See if we want to take that off as a show. That way, Rhett doesn't have to burn up his personal days. I'm about ready for a vacation. That seems good enough for me. That means we're putting in. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. We're putting in a month before we get a day off. So that's good.
You want to do like a 199 too before we go take off?
I was
earlier in March.
Oddly enough, I wrote down on my list today Bubba 199 either on 328.
Okay.
No, I can't. I don't think we can do it.
What if we
can I
did
do a Danny 198 one time in the next couple months?
No.
What about a 314, Bubba, the Friday before we take off?
I can't because I got to be at BARP. So it would have to be 3-7.
Oh yeah.
And so that's quite 3-7. It's gonna have to be 3-7.
Perfect.
Because 328, I got to be at the track. So you want to put a 3-7 Bubba 199 in there?
Got it.
Now the only way we're gonna do it. Let me see. B 199, and that would be with all Bubba 199s now come with the Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
So he has to spin on that. We're gonna have to make sure he's okay. If not, I'm gonna have to do.
Pre-recorded Jones?
The old Power Pig T-Quest mashups and stuff like that, but it seems to work. So let me, tentatively, we got nothing left in February. Nothing, except payroll this week, Thursday. Let me know if you guys got any bonuses, text me. No later than noon today, please. Payroll has to be in by 1 o'clock today. So then in a couple weeks, we got Bubba 199 on Friday the 7th. And Lummy, can you get a hold of like the Wizzies and some of the ones that have missed and see if we can get a little sex appeal up in here?
Yes,
Maria Guatemala, Merch Crick, Not a Fan, OFF, just Tease, just all of them. Maybe Buck's wife. And then so tentatively Bubba 199 on the 7th. And then tentatively, based on what Seth comes back with Phoebe, based on what, Lummy comes back, based on which Macho Man comes back, it's looking like we might, as a show, take on the 17th through the 21st as vacation, Lummy. You're really going to have to work hard on getting some really fresh, badass best ofs to the affiliates. And then, I'm really wide open. AC/DC's May 16th at Ray J.
Metallica's coming too.
I don't know if we try to do a cash cube then.
Any interest in going to either of those concerts, AC/DC or Metallica?
I mean, when's Metallica?
I think June.
June, yeah.
All right, Dan probably needs your help on maybe getting some parking for the AC/DC Ray J deal Friday, May 16th with a cash cube kicker. So.
Limp Bizkit's opening for Metallica.
Oh, I know.
That's going to be huge.
That would be huge.
That's going to be huge.
That would be huge.
So, Dan, did you hear how the Warren Sapp thing went south?
No, I heard you trying to call him and trying to be really nice, and then I didn't hear it go south because I was working. I missed that part.
Yeah, I know you're probably under surgery. It was going great. It was just going absolutely great.
He's like playing with dynamite,
Oh my God! And so it's going great.
Someone sneezed.
And we're like saying, "Hey, man, the cops really, really, really violated your rights on several different things." He was so educated on, the 1983 ruling. He was educated on, civil rights, your Fourth and Fifth Amendments. He was schooling the cops. He was absolutely schooling the cops to the point where he did have his civil rights violated extremely, and
no question about that.
And he's going to get a huge payday.
The amount's debatable.
Well, I guess it's suing a municipality. So, but I have seen some judges go off. Well,
he's not, because Bubba. The bottom line is, he wasn't physically roughed up. He didn't almost die. He was detained for an hour. I mean, is it 2 hours? 3 hours. I mean, is it really worth $20 million, or is it worth $50,000?
Listen, you get you start talking about somebody's civil as an African American man. You start getting your civil rights just absolutely trampled.
Yeah, but damages should be a little bit more tangible, don't you think? I mean, when someone says, they got insulted and they get $20 million for an insult,
Well,
it's BS.
Warren did emphasize that it wasn't about the money; it was about holding these officers accountable. So that's where his mindset was when we had him on the air. But we're walking through this whole process. Seth, let me chime in if you like.
Yeah.
It seems like it's going really awesome.
Oh, it was.
Well, I knew
And
it
he
went,
was nice to you too, right? At first.
Yeah, until like the last 2 minutes.
Okay.
And then
Flip the switch.
We're just.
What did it?
We're just. Well, here's what did it. Here's what did it. Here's what did it. It's my understanding. Here's what did it. And I need Seth and Lummy to chime in. I think he was insulted because I made the following statement. I said, you know what? When Dion hired you, I texted him, and he acknowledged, Lummy, that he saw the text.
He sure did.
Dion showed him the text. And I said, Dion, thank you for believing in this guy. I don't know that a lot of, college head coaches would believe in this guy, but you're giving him an opportunity that's going to lead to big things. And all he needed was a chance, and you're probably the only person to give him a chance. That's what I said.
Which is actually remarkably sweet.
Right. Dion and Warren acknowledged that Dion showed him the tweet. And he said, thank you for that. Then I said, my follow-up question was, Warren, because Dion's given you an opportunity to be in a Power 4 elite program, you're doing good. Your defensive line is improved, 50. I mean, just your defensive line play is unbelievable.
You were putting them over.
You're getting them to play like you did, low with hand control. You probably were the best in the league. You weren't the tallest and you weren't the biggest, but you were the quickest off the ball, and you had unbelievable hand speed. He could get a guy off of him. And then he acknowledged and said, yeah, I loved playing against guys like 6'5", 6'6", because I could get underneath them and they were mine. So we're going great, right? We're going perfect.
Sounds like it's going perfect.
Right. Then I go. Okay.
So here's the problem, Bubba. You start getting comfortable.
You do. And we've all seen it multiple times.
Well, it was almost like he flipped the switch when you kept saying gave him the opportunity.
So I said, listen, I'm so proud that Dion gave you that opportunity. And I said, now with that opportunity, if you spend enough years with Dion, a couple successful years, do you think that you're setting yourself up for a possible HBCU head coaching job? Because you can see where, I think, didn't Michael Vick just get a job?
Yes.
And Eddie George, or some of these former African-American Hall of Famers and stuff like that are now getting their opportunity into coaching. And listen, if you're the head coach of an HBCU team and you take them year in and year out to a 10-plus rank, you're going to get a look at something a little bigger than the HBCU.
Definitely, it happens to all the ones that succeed in the HSBC.
I mean, oddly enough, the one that he works for, Dion, that question flipped him out by saying, "Well, why has it got to be about Dion giving me a shot? Why can't it be about me getting my crap together and doing the right thing? And why can't it be? I didn't hear one opportunity or one instance where you said it was about me and what I'm doing and how I'm doing good." And I'm like, I thought it was somewhat implied, but I mean, like, that's not. Then I started kind of backpedaling, seeing how volatile and violent. Of course, he brings up Calta. That Calta and Pete, they were saying things about you, that you're saying things about me, and then he hangs up on me. I then go back and look, and he appeared on Calta's show 4 days prior on Radio Row. So I to put two and two together, I'm sure there was a
text during the conversation.
Well, I'm sure there was, potentially that, or they spent an extended amount of time privately, maybe hot mic. Well, I don't think during Radio Row they have hot mic, but off air in between commercials, talking crap about me. When I don't know.
But why would he have called in the first place if they were burying you?
I think to get the exposure, and then he knew in order to cover his ass with his friends, he knew he had to screw me over and bury me at the end. And that's just strictly my opinion. So it's just.
Is there an opinion that he was still just joking with you when he hung up?
No, that's what he does. Hangs up like a little bitch.
Well, hold on. Yes, Seth, but I texted him, and I would think that if it was kind of a rib or kind of a, maybe messing with me at the last minute, I would have gotten maybe a text back.
Nothing? Ghosted you?
I'm gonna tell you what and Seth, this goes to you. I'm gonna tell you what I sent. Wow, that went south quick. I don't know what I said to upset you, but whatever I did, I apologize. I hope you know I'm pulling for you. I've always been a big Warren Sapp fan. I'm sorry for whatever I said upset you. Bubba. That's all I said.
Did he reply?
No, nothing.
See.
So,
it's like high school stuff, dude.
I mean, I think Seth, if it would have been like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, he would, maybe text it back, saying, we good, buddy, or something.
Anything.
So,
he just seemed to allude to that, there was never any issues between you guys, and it's all small stuff, and everything's going well for him. It didn't seem like that he was upset at all. But
again, not even the wrong choice of words, but just not the best choice of words. And he cries and takes the ball away and cries and goes home. What a little bitch. Sapp, I'm ashamed of you. You're an embarrassment to the NFL and to the Bucs and the way you handle yourself. You've been given so many opportunities, and every single time you squander it like an immature. I'm not even going to say that word. Like an immature brat.
Brat.
You little brat.
That's perfect.
Little brat bitch.
So, and what he didn't realize is, like, I'm going out there this fall. And
stand your ground.
And I'm Deion's friend.
Yeah.
And I've been Deion's friend since '96. And listen, I'm not bragging. I'm not bragging at all. But I'm Deion's, and I'm not getting into what this means, but I'm Deion's real good friend.
I sent you.
I'm Deion's really, really. I've been in the trenches with Deion.
You knew him when he had 10 toes.
I knew him when he had 10 toes and played for the Reds. Deion used to call me, send me $5,000, and I would go to Plant City for him and Barry Larkin and find a 45-day Airbnb. It was before Airbnbs were Airbnbs. I'd go to I'd go to houses that were listed for sale that had been on, the market for 200 days, and I'd get a hold of the realtor and say, hey, listen, I got, 2 or 3 Cincinnati Reds that are in town for 45 days. They'd like to rent a house for, $4,500. And they would all go for it. And that's the kind of friend I am with Deion. So what's this?
Well, I was going to have you 357.35 is where it kind of all of a sudden flips a switch. When you talk about going out there with Ty J, he mentions obviously the whole flick bitch thing.
Yeah, here
he tells one more story, and then I was going to let Dan listen.
Yeah, Dan, we'll let you listen to this, okay?
What? Yeah. And then they look at the description of the girl. She's supposed to have pink hair down to her butt. This girl didn't have it. Red shoes, she don't have it. After they realize they're wrong.
And Jay's in here, too.
They release the girl. They let her go, take out her handcuffs, go get in their car. Guess what the cop says as he's driving off? You are an identical match. What? We used to fit the description. Now we're an identical match when you're wrong, too?
Yeah. And interviewing him is impossible because you can't get a word in. He overpowers you. Now I know what it's like to interview with me. I'd love to keep up on this, Warren, and give me updates as it happens throughout the.
Listen. What you have is a new way of me and you getting in contact with each other. Don't worry, brother. I won't leave you out because I know you like me. We not against cops.
No,
but we got plenty of cops that we love and know. Because I love my Florida Highway Patrol because they've been all the sidelines and up and down. And we trade coins and do all jokes and everything. I don't like bad cops.
Deion has offered me he's like, Sponge, you need to. I'm going to come out to a game this year, and I was going to bring Ty J with me. Me and Ty J come to a game, and so if you see us out there one weekend, don't beat me up or nothing. And I'm just trying to be funny.
Wow.
Can I get one in real quick, Sponge?
Wow.
I just want to picture.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where he flips.
Wow, that's right. You do got to keep Crystal River on your side.
You got to keep Crystal River on my side, cuz. You know that, buddy. Come on
really?
Now. Hey, remember the commercial we did when I was looking at your wiener? Remember that one?
I was just about to say we made one of the hottest commercials ever, and I need a copy of that so I can bring that one back.
I've been looking for it.
And if Cowhead and Pete are correct,
see,
if they are correct.
Like he'd just been reminded of it. Am I right?
Yeah.
He had just seen
a text.
He'd just seen either a text or he was just on the Mike Calta show 4 days prior. So he refers back to that, which kind of tells on him.
That's the day that I guess you had one of your friends there, and I say I didn't flick. What started all this?
Yeah.
So, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So maybe they did say something about it.
With your sensitive ass skin, bro.
And again, so he calls me sensitive ass skin, and I don't fight back. I just
You
laugh.
laugh.
I just take.
Yeah.
You're right. It was a badass commercial though when I was looking at your watch and everything. Oh, that was badass.
And then you get butt hurt because you bring a friend and he don't get a picture. Really?
Oh, stop it! I'm not bringing that up now. That's long gone, man. That's all gone. And again, I'm like, man, it's long. Like I'm not even
talking
trying
about being
to.
butthurt.
I'm not even trying to bring it up. I'm like, man, that's long gone. No big deal.
Get in line.
Get in line.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, hold on. Seth Kushner for a question. Go ahead.
Warren, I just want to know, man, how great is Travis Hunter?
And here's Seth, thank God, feels the tension, says he can throw a softball in there, which I think we would get some try. I think, if the boys cut this particular...
We did. It's already been a thing.
This, has it gotten good traction?
It's all right traction.
Sure.
How good's Travis Hunter?
Brother, did you see my Rich Eisen show?
Yeah.
When I was explaining it to Rich?
Yes.
I'll do it for you, too. It was unreal every day to walk in there and watch the game. Because I got a sneak preview the year before.
By the way, this is Warren Sapp on our show last week talking about how Lake Okeechobee Police Department violated his civil rights, and then we started asking him some sports stuff.
I went to go check with Dion, right before they went to TCU for game one the year before I got there. And I actually watched him make that pick on the sideline where he, does that jump back in and out and jump back on the sideline to get it. And I had watched a week of practice before that. But when I got there, and I watched him every day, because you talk about a dog with me. I mean, you can ask any of my teammates, when you come to practice with me, it is on. You go anywhere in between the lines with me and it's on. I am going to tear your ass up and smile at you because you're my teammate. I got to still love on you, but I got to whoop you.
If you want to go about 403.36 is where you're about to hang up, and that's 403.36. We're there. Could you say about?
All right, here we go.
The money don't make the man. The man makes the money.
Exactly. Hey, Warren, such good talking to you, my friend, and we would love to keep up.
Always. Hey, Diaco,
Yeah,
check
man.
him out, man. Make sure he good over there. Make sure he good, man. Check his blood pressure. Make sure he good.
Everything's good,
I'm
Warren.
good, my friend. And listen, let's keep up on the progress of this nonsense. And I'm so excited for you. We watched it all.
No, we gonna keep up with this violation because.
So again, Dan, we're like, we're literally
Everything's still good.
Yeah, we're great. Like we're great. Like it could by Warren Sapp standards it's just perfect. This is a 10 of 10.
You violate, we litigate.
Mm-hmm. That's
and
right.
I want to teach a generation the rights because my vision is, but listen to this: a 17, and a 16-year-old are leaving basketball practice in any city in America. It's cold. Chicago, New York, Baltimore, Philly, Atlanta. Florida's even a little chilly around basketball season. They're walking home. All of them have what on? Hoodies, right?
Right.
They got their backpacks on. They walking down the street. Officer get a little frisky, roll up on. Well, what y'all doing? Where y'all going? Right? They're in a high crime neighborhood. That's the only place we live, and that's where they patrol. I want all three of these young men to pull their phone out because we gave the kids the greatest weapon they have. But now they got to know their rights to be able to do it. Pull out their phone, go to record, and say, name and badge number, and continue what you were saying, officer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole different situation, isn't it?
It is, and it's not. It's not
different situation.
It's not disrespectful. It's not anything.
Because when me and my boys were standing on the corner, they used to roll up on us, tell us to get on the ground, and we had to get on the ground.
For real, like back in the day, back in Plymouth, man, they'd throw you on the ground.
But get on the ground. Get out. Everybody get out. Everybody get on the ground.
Before
Even
body
if you got
cams?
some nice white outfit on First Friday and you finna go out, you're getting on the ground.
Mess it up.
My homeboy one time was in a push-up position, down the ground because he had his all white on finna go to the party.
Hi.
Cop stepped on his back. He had a footprint on his back. and dirt on his front when he got up. He had to go home and change.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Not knowing your rights is the worst thing in the world because these are rights that we were born with.
Now I'm going to.
They stopped teaching. They stopped teaching civics in high school, and they went to social studies and geography.
I'm going to ask you a question that I don't want you mad at. Which, by the way, you got mad at. But a lot. It's a question that I think a lot of people want to ask you because I think that it might be a path. And I don't say this out of disrespect to my good friend Primetime.
No. Don't apologize for the question. Just ask it. Let's see what it is.
I'm going to ask it because I think that indeed this could happen. And again, I don't think I can frame it any better. I mean, this is like a softball. So Warren Sapp needed a chance. Warren Sapp comes with
No. Is this a question?
Yes,
Sounds
it
like
is.
A dialogue.
I got to.
Sounds like a dialogue.
God, is he a prick? Dan, is he just a prick? He's just a prick.
Get off the dialogue.
No,
get to the question.
no, you know how I am. You and I are boys. Now, come on. Let me just.
That's why I want the question. Let's not apologize for what we about to ask. Let's just ask the question.
You've instilled yourself as a defensive line coach for a Power 5 school in Colorado. Power 4. You've done a great job. You're an unbelievable recruiter. You're a Hall of Famer. Do you see where this could potentially set you up for a head coaching job like at an HBCU or something like that? Now, that's the question.
That's not offensive.
Now, how does that get taken out of context as being offensive? You've rolled into Colorado. You've made significant improvements to the defensive line. You're charismatic. You are unbelievable. You're a Hall of Famer. You're one of the best defensive linemen ever to play the game.
And Bubba, you didn't ask it like he was giving him a chance and like it was a charity, opportunity. The question wasn't premised that way.
It wasn't like, hey, man, nobody in a million years would ever think about taking you. It was, no, Dion brought you in, gave you an opportunity, and you've made the best of it, and you're nailing it, buddy. Because I do.
I have no interest.
Okay. I mean, it was a good question, though, wasn't it, bud?
It was a fast answer, wasn't it?
You're so stiff. You're so stiff.
What you're failing to realize is that this ain't about me. My legacy is set. I have a bust in Ohio, a full statue in Tampa, and my name sit in 3 NFL stadiums. One I'm on a Saturday afternoon down in Hard Rock for the University of Miami. My name sits there. My name sits in Relon Stadium with the Raiders. You can walk around there, a whole mural of me sitting in that thing. It's nice. And it sits in Raymond James Stadium, the baddest stadium in America. So it's not about me anymore. And what Dion did for me was allow me to put a blank canvas in front of young men who gonna paint with bold strokes. Have you ever seen a Picasso? It looked like an 8-year-old draw them stick figures on that shit. It's crazy to me. So I tell my young man, you can draw a masterpiece, young man. Do you understand? And that's all I'm here to do. Is I'm the curator of art right now, and I want some artists to paint and paint with bold strokes. And Prime gave me, he's gonna give me 15 to 18 a year that I can go at, and that's where I want to be because that's my comfort zone. I know what I'm talking about, and I know what I'm looking at, and nobody can come in here and do nothing except observe and smile.
Well, I appreciate the answer to my question. A lot of people are thinking
I have no interest in a defensive coordinator spot. I don't want to call play for play with some of these damn play callers. They're nuts.
You just want to coach. And again, it's all still seem to be going pretty good. Yeah.
They don't do screen and draw on second and long anymore. They try to attack you. I'm like, what?
You just want to coach the dogs up front and make sure they get great penetration, get some sacks, get some pressure on the boys. That's all you're there for.
Let's hunt, baby.
Hey, buddy.
Let's hunt. It's about the hunt. It's about the journey. Like my good friend Michael Irvin says, with the 5 eyes, 2 in his head and 3 in his name, it's about the distance travel.
Listen, my man. I'm so glad we had this great conversation. More importantly, let's keep it up to speed and see if we can get some. I'm just trying to wrap this thing up, Lummy. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. I figured we had to end on a high stroke. Justice in Okeechobee.
No, we're not worried about justice. We're gonna get some transparency, some accountability, and then we're gonna teach a nation about our rights because the school system is failing us. And then you saw our school grades in Florida. Come on, Ron DeSantis. Come on, baby. We got to do something better. Come on. We done failed to 20-year low in Florida without grades. Come on, man. We ain't teaching.
Consider us friend, not foe. I'll help you in any way I can, my friend. I'll probably be physically.
Listen, brother, I've never considered you a foe. You just was on your radio show pandering to whatever you were pandering to. You know, it kept it going. It didn't take no turkey off my table, son.
Don't judge
I don't know why. I don't know why that one picture way back in the day ignited you all this time, and you still haven't let it go.
No, and by the way, have I mentioned it? I mean, talk about letting it go. I've let it go. When's the last time I told that story, Lummy? As far as I don't flick, bitch.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't even know that Seth, since the time he's been back or even the time before, is familiar with I don't flick, bitch.
I don't think I've heard in a while, but I did co-sign with him because
Okay.
I'm afraid.
Right. Bull crap, I haven't let it go. Bull crap. Hey, man, hold on. I got to stay at home. No.
I got a question. I got a question for the other two people.
Go back
I got a
and
question
check.
for the other.
Seth is just happy that he called Seth the other gentleman and circled back for a Seth. Yeah.
No, go back, nothing. I got a question for Diaco and the other young man that was on here that asked me a question about Travis Hunter.
Right.
Would you two say in this conversation today with me and Mr. Clem that he's let that go from that he don't flick?
No, Bubba doesn't let anything go. That's what makes him Bubba.
Thank you.
Yeah, my host didn't help me at all.
Thank you.
Oh, screw you. Let me tell you something, 99. Hey, 99.
Diaco,
Yes, sir.
would you answer the question for me?
You answer it, not Jay.
I would say you're pretty accurate there.
Screw you. Dan, I think my guys threw me under the bus.
They sure did, Bubba. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Jay
Yeah.
did too.
Yeah, Jay did too, little bitch.
Wait, here comes Lummy.
Bubba has let it go.
Hold on.
He didn't ask you, Lummy.
Go back. Look at my boy Lummy. That's why I love him. And check your boss's text when you got that job, and you let me know if I didn't let it go.
I'm talking about this morning, and even in that text in your explanation, you gave him a chance, and he'll be a good force in there for you.
Yes, hold on. I sent Dion, man, thank you for giving him a chance. He's going to be a good force for your organization. You are going to really, 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 really take your defensive line to the next level. Now, and he and oddly enough, you can tell that he read it, Lummy, because that's what I said.
Yeah.
So Dion showed him the text. So,
how would you know this?
I know this because Dion believes in you, and you are a winner.
That's
and
it.
you know how to.
You just got to be believed in. That's it. Somebody else just got to believe in you.
He believes in you, and he gave. Yeah, somebody does have to believe in you when you've done stupid things like you've done, and you need a break. You know what? I need a break right now. I'm on the precipice of needing a break. I'm the Warren Sapp of radio that got caught for prostitution and can't get a break because everybody's afraid of something I can understand.
Right.
And all you needed was.
I don't get no break. Nothing with me. Just him.
I know. I was texting him to tell him thank you.
Conversation with someone
texted
that you
him
come out one day to be a head coach, but it's because that guy believes in you. Not that
I think if Dion heard this, he wouldn't be very, very cool with it. Considering that I was just trying to make it a really warm and fuzzy and put Warren over. And listen, the truth of the matter is, if Dion hadn't given him an opportunity, do you think that the head coach of the Gator? Do you think his own university that he played in,
Miami?
Do you think Miami would have hired him?
Oh yeah, Miami would.
But Warren, I think you're a little older, you're matured, and some of the things you went through in your past might have molded you for this position right here. None of that came out your mouth.
Oh my God! I can't say the right thing all the time. I'm doing spontaneous. Come on,
None of that came out your mouth.
Come on, Warren.
None of that came out your mouth. None of that.
Come on, man. You just gotta be a
words matter.
buster.
Words do matter.
They
and
do.
You two guys on the
and
set
you know what the
agree with
words
me.
I
So
have for you?
It's a 3-0 judge panel that you, Todd Clem, Bubba the Love Sponge, our friend, our foe, or whatever you want to call it, because these are your words, not mine, haven't let go something from a great commercial a long time ago.
So
because
wrong.
I don't know who. I still don't even. Whoa, so wrong.
You are so wrong. I want nothing but the best for you. I am so proud of you. I am so. See, Dan, I'm even doubling down on the kindness.
No one said you didn't want the best for me. I'm just saying you haven't let go. I don't flick with your friend.
I wouldn't be
all
calling
those
you.
Years ago.
I wouldn't be
still
calling
harping on
you
it.
if I didn't have an admiration for you and I didn't have respect for you.
I got it. Have a good day.
Warren, why? See,
Well, he's great with the way he leaves.
that's how it ended, Dan. Now give me your. Wow. I tried everything in my power to show him how happy I am for him, the opportunity in front of him, and never. God, I can't even. I can't even tell you the last time that I talked about I don't flick bitch story. And obviously, just 4 days removed from Calta's show, and he refers to that while getting heat with me. Just goes to show. I'll tell you the person who hasn't let it go. Him.
Well, the thing with him is he doesn't let a word go. Like he will hold everyone to literally every word they say.
But he doesn't.
And he'll get lost in the forest by just attacking a tree that may have been even 99% right, but not 100% right.
And none of his words matter. You can't go back and dissect his words.
No.
But he can go and literally dissect your words and bring something that happened. This isn't literally happened in 1999.
And he has to be right. He won't concede. One of the signs of narcissism is the inability to take any kind of criticism and the inability to admit that maybe it's not just your way.
Yeah,
and so it's huge narcissism, and one of the reasons, Bub, that you bring up the old stuff is not because you haven't gotten over it or because you're butthurt or because you're a little bitch. It's because it's also bringing context into the conversation to other people that are listening. When you have a person on the air and you're interviewing them, you say their name 15 times during the interview. No S, you know their name. But you're trying to include the audience and give everyone some context so they understand what's going on. So if Sap really understood media and radio, he'd understand instead of being just an obstinate brat.
Well, and there comes, and you're right, and the fact that there comes a certain amount of backfilling or resetting the conversation so that those that aren't familiar with the "we don't flick bitch" story can understand it. Now, I didn't backfill or tell that story in any way, shape, or form prior to calling Warren or during the conversation. He's the one that brought it up, But I'm just.
It's weird how it went like that, Bubba.
I'm just bummed out in the fact that it was like 95% good, and then out of nowhere he brings up the fact that instead of me thanking Dion for giving him an opportunity, which could potentially lead to something bigger for him, that I didn't, blow his spot up by saying that he's older, and that's implied.
And what about the time that he stiffed us on an interview? You didn't bring that up. That's something you should actually be irritated about when he was just a little bit of a kizunt about an interview 2 years ago that we were trying to do. Remember?
Oh, it's a stiff.
Gee, I'm so over that. He's a POS, and I'm sorry. That's how I feel. He's disrespectful and he's self-destructive, and I'm over him. I hope he has success in life, but I'm over him, and I'm not gonna attach my life to his or have anything that I do with rely on him because he's an unreliable little brat.
IP and Pools on chat said Dan breaking down narcissism is like Tom Brady breaking down offensive plays.
I'm a little narcissistic.
Did Whoopi Goldberg finally get fired from The View?
Really?
I know I'm asking Lummy or Seth.
So.
There's conflicting reports.
She was having trouble.
I used to run in some View circles, but they kicked me out, Bubba.
You did?
Yeah, they said I was too MAGA.
When you're down there at the Guava?
Yeah, they said I was too MAGA and rugged for their group. So
I know they do this. They do this once a year where they then try to bring people in to watch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whoopi may have needed a vacation.
I don't know. I'm going to get into it. She is absolutely. You know what? She's the Warren Sapp of The View.
And no, Whoopi's still with The View.
Oh. Finally, Carolyn Levitt kicked Whoopi off of The View after a wokeness rant live on TV. This happened 3 days ago. Let's at least break it down, if we could.
Absolutely.
I think with The View, we're slamming the press secretary? What's her name? The blonde girl?
Yeah, Caroline Levitt.
Yeah, they were really, really, really on her. And to the point where maybe Whoopi got a few days off or suspended or something. To me, man, she seems like she's untouchable for several different reasons. When I also returned, Donald Trump was in his, I think they call it the Beast.
Yes.
His Cadillac. Is that a Cadillac Escalade? Or is that kind of a Cadillac hybrid, like not available to the public, made just specific, use specific as the presidential motorcade? I think it's got I think it's bomb proof, it's bulletproof, it's got. They won't tell you what the top speed of it is.
It's just a Cadillac limousine. That's what it says. Custom built.
He paced the field of the Daytona 500 yesterday. I like that. I like a president, Republican, Democrat, Independent, boy, girl, black, white. I like a president that gets out. His most recent appearance was at the Super Bowl, and now he's at Daytona 500.
Two of the most iconic, important sports events of the year.
I like to see him at the Indy 500. I like to see him at the WNBA championships.
Yep.
I like to see him at the NBA championships.
World Series.
I like to see him at the World Series.
Yep.
I like to see him at as long as it's in the U.S. I like to see him at the Stanley Cup Finals. I like to see all that. That and the Whoopi stuff next.
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Sorry, I can talk.
Yeah, well, you were saying
It's Stumpy 62, Mother Bob, good morning. 2006 Monty. OG, K-Dub. Wow. Yeah, boy. Sarge, 311. Yeah, boy. All right. Apple Mike, good morning. X6.
Let me stay on your TikTok.
I'm on it.
Seth on your Insta.
What's up, CC Hall? Thank you.
Oh, I sent you like a little article plus a video on the Beast.
Okay.
Rick James.
Thank you.
Powers.
On my I Am Willie?
Yes, sir.
Apple Mike, good morning. Thank you for saying that. It's true.
Is it cold in here?
Feels okay.
Seth?
No, it's
You
fine.
don't have your fan on.
Yeah, no, it's fine in here.
It's not warm.
Seth, you want your fan on?
No, I'm all good. Thank you.
You're charged if you need it.
Oh, thank you.
Mark Jones.
World, with around 50 vehicles and over 100 personnel.
What's up, Faku? K Powers. AG. Kirk. Magnum DUI, agree.
PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Lummy.
He's not in the room, buddy.
Come on, lovers. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App.
And 8 hours. CC's all over today. Oh, man.
What day is it today?
Well,
6/12. I think Lummy missed Mike Rucker.
He's not in here. Big arms. What's up? Window here, looks like. Snoke Slayer, Yinzer, Duck God, good morning. Hippie Short Stroker. What's up, Pedro? Duck God. Okay, we're tacos. Shit, it's only went up that far. I didn't sign into Bumble early enough. Sorry, guys. Computer took a while to warm up. Some ex lives in store shed. In there. What was I saying? Shove it up. Jesse.
Lummy, I'm going to do a synergy spot.
Okay. Michael Rocker, 25.
Yeah, get him. Did you see that on the cash?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sarge 311, 69 months. Cable Dog 85 months. Sure, G Dog.
Oh, I didn't see that, Pedro.
Everybody let me know about the 17th. Seth, check with Phoebes.
It's fine, mate. It's fine. I mean, she works, so.
No, I'm good. You're alright, I searched shit and what they do and look at it. No, I'm just trying to
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Lummy, I think you might have missed a Cash App, Willie.
I said it, but Dr. Dan started getting to his rant, so I didn't want to interrupt him.
Dan started going crazy.
Michael Rocker, 25. Yes, sir.
Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. I'm back. We're going to be back until March 17th. I just pulled the trigger. We're going to take a week off. The 17th through the 21st for our spring vacation. It coincides with the 5 days that Rhett asked off. Now he doesn't have to take personal days and or sick. It's considered a show holiday. Let me write that down.
Yes, sir.
17 to 21. Let's start really.
Will do.
Hey, did you go upstairs and look for those one things?
Sure did.
Did you any luck?
Possibly, but not really looking promising right now.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
So 17 through 21, we're out of here. And Lummy, let's really make the best of some really good stuff if we could.
We will do.
That we will distribute to Phoenix, Fort Walton Beach, and Tampa.
Yeah, we got a month for it, so we'll get it.
I got a chance to meet, I just completed our 54th annual, the 54th annual Winter Nationals, of which we have been participating that as a track, Ocala Speedway, since Tom Bean and I bought it back in 2011. I think this was the 14th year or 16th year that we had the USAC 410 sprint cars. That was Saturday night. The week before that was 5 nights of Lucas Oil Super Late Model racing, and then the week before that was street stocks and open wheel modifieds. And so the last night, Saturday night, this past last night, Lummy, I kind of wanted to. I'm not going to be up there for a week or two. Our next race is on Saturday the 15th, so I'm going to kind of leave the track lay. But man, the poor track is so worn out. 18 straight nights of racing. Usually, I race on a Saturday night. I got, it's only raced one night with, 60 to 80 cars, none of which have high horse. The USAC sprint cars have 1,000 horsepower with a 109-inch rear wheel that just has so much wheel spin and throws so much material out of the track. And then the Lucas late models, they have 1,000 horsepower at 2,600 pounds. And so my poor track, man, it was just worn out. So I got to spend some time getting some material back on the track. Friday, I met this guy from Synergy Equipment. Now, I didn't know that Synergy Equipment was near this big of an operation, quite frankly. They got offices in Alabama, just in Florida, Clearwater, Cocoa, Daytona, Jacksonville, Fort Myers, Doral, Kissimmee, Lakeland, Ocala, Pompano, Panama City, Orlando, Sarasota, Tampa, Sarasota again, Stewart, in Georgia, Byron, Forest Park, Garden City, Lawrenceville, Kennesaw, Tennessee, Goodlettsville, Texas, Austin, Byron, Byron College Station, Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston. So I got to talking to this guy named Mike. He is relocated, I think, from the Fort Myers location to start. Now, the Ocala branch is brand new. They've only been there about a year. And, man, the stuff that they got, and I'm going to use some of their equipment to excavate some of this clay. I got this little honey hole of clay, Lummy, that I need to excavate out. And I think I'm going to get, talk about sexy.
Wow.
I think
those are so cool looking. Those are so cool. They make a little skid steer look like a toy.
Oh, these I'm going to try.
What are those called? Just excavators?
These are called excavators.
Yeah, and those are the real ones.
Lummy, if he has it available, first of all, it's 222 horsepower.
How much do those things cost, new, if you were to buy one?
Oh, like 700 to
that much
to $1 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It can lift now 18,000 pounds. It can go down to 55 feet 2 inches. He may not have one of these this big in the Ocala yard, but I'm going to get the biggest one he got. So, let me Synergy. You can go to, I think it's Synergy. It's synergyequipment.com. I'm going to get that, and then I'm going to see if I can get a. If I can
you operate it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can operate that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now I'm
not messing with you. I'm just curious.
And then, Lummy, I'm looking for probably the only other thing I would need would be a front end loader, because after I dig it out of the hole, I got to haul it to the track. Look at that. Look at that.
So cool. With the ladder and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Big ass
that
shovel.
Thing's badass. That could knock down your entire house.
Oh, I know.
In about 5 minutes.
Oh, I know.
48,000 pounds, 200 horsepower.
That means that's what it weighs?
Yes,
it weighs that much?
It's a 4-yard bucket. Yeah, it weighs 50,000 pounds.
It's a 25-ton tool?
Yeah, hold on. So it weighs 48,000. It can lift 7,000. So what's 48 plus 7?
That's 55.
55,000 pounds with a full yard bucket.
Jesus.
So that's what I'm trying to get from him. I'm also trying to find, and he doesn't. Michael from Synergy doesn't have one, but I'm trying to find somebody, whether my buddy Augie or Ivanin or whoever. I'm trying to find somebody that's got a dirt separator sifter, so that when I dig it out of the ground, Lummy, I can then throw it through this sifter and it takes all the rocks out.
Oh, nice.
So I'm trying to do that.
Just vibrates and
it vibrates and it's a screen, and then it's gravity fed, so you pour it on top and it goes, and then the rocks stay on the screen and the dirt sifts through, so you have beautiful, rockless dirt. So anyway, go to Synergy.
It's the right kind of clay?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the clay that I have at the track, yes, absolutely. And I got about 5 big piles of it that we've gotten out of the ground but need sifted. But, I figure I got this one big clay vein that I don't know how far it goes. But, I finally have a connection to an unbelievable excavator in Synergy Equipment. So I might as well get their badass excavator and get that clay out of the ground.
Where do you put it? You can just put it anywhere?
Well, I put it in the back there.
Okay.
Out there in the back, and I kind of have it so that it's bordering, because there's a big pit. Did you see all those piles of dirt back there, Lummy?
Yeah.
That's just to keep people out of the pit.
Oh.
But the pit is 35 foot deep. Ooh. So if you'd fall off one of those piles, it'd probably kill you.
Whoa.
So we got to walk that badass excavator down in there. First couple 10, 15 shovelfuls as you're building a support pad for your machine to stay on, and then you just you start slinging it out at that point. So, and there's another little honey hole that, if I remember, kind of over by the go-kart track, we might go scratching around there. But when you have this machine, you can, in 10 scoops, because the clay in Ocala or the clay that you find anywhere in Florida is never within the top 6 foot. It usually goes sand, topsoil, maybe some lime rock, and then comes your clay.
It's under the lime?
Yes. If you have any lime rock, or it'll go sand, topsoil, then clay. But clay's usually
deep.
And clay is not really used for anything in construction. The only thing that clay is used from, like when people are building and they get into clay, it's overburdened. They throw it away. But the only thing that clay is really good for is they line ponds with it, because once it bonds, it's kind of waterproof.
So the water doesn't seep through the into the ground as much.
So they'll take like that black. Have you seen that black tarp kind of deal?
Mm-hmm.
They'll line that. They'll line what they're going to make a pond with that, and then they'll put clay on top of that, and now you got a really good water barrier, so that your pond doesn't fluctuate like ours does. Our pond looks pretty healthy, Lummy.
Yes, I've been trying to keep it up on it.
But is there an argument to drain it, tarp it, and clay it?
Yeah, it'd be a lot of work. It's if you're building a pond, it's better to tarp and clay it when you're in the building process of it.
Not retrofitting.
Yeah, not retrofit. So synergyequipment.com. There's a location near you for all you guys that are doing big jobs. They got some little stuff too. They got a ton of skid steer attachments. They got just anything you can think of. Anything that you can think of, they got. You can buy it or you can rent it. Either or. So thank you so much for having established that relationship with Mike. He came out to the track. I put him in the Packer truck with me. Had a couple laps. We were bull crapping around, and I got me a new friend. So
That's
you
awesome.
can never have enough good friends in the equipment business. So synergyequipment.com. Peruse around. There's probably something that you might like. And you, and of course, you rent or buy. I think they're official Bobcat dealer too. Donald Trump. Now, is he the first president ever to do this?
I think so.
I think he is. I think I heard that yesterday.
Yeah. And I don't even know that there's been a president attend.
George Bush did.
But
he did that. Now, he was the first guy because he was talking about the NASCAR dad. Remember, that was a new subgroup of a voter that he was looking for.
Right. And so I think he attended, but he never said, I just want to let you know, if I'm going to go, I might as well go out and pace the field so everybody can see my badass. The thing about it, Lummy, is you have to be going about 65 miles an hour. I've driven. Lummy, you could probably go into our YouTube channel and find me drive. I got going 168 miles an hour and a Dodge Charger pace car. I was fortunate enough, I forget what years was, maybe 2011, where I was the pace car driver for the Coke Zero 400 in July. I drove the pace car. And so when you...
Yeah, with Brad
Keselowski.
Yeah.
So when you get...
What does that mean? You're like the Grand Marshal?
Kinda. So, but you drive the pace car.
Is it a convertible so everybody can see your face?
No, it's a hard top, Willie.
Oh, wow. Head out the window, I see.
So when you drive the pace car, they make you go to pace car.
I said it to you.
So I had to go over there and with Brad Keselowski and show him that I could handle a car. And so I handled the car. You got it for me, Lummy?
Yeah, I said it's your mind. I am.
Thank you. And so Keselowski takes you around the track first. Okay, yeah, this is a 2011, like I said. Let me see here.
There you go. Oh, yeah, and then you go.
Now, he's going about 160. Well, listen, we both had it floored, and it'd go 168, 170.
Look at you, buddy. I'm kind of over here, to be honest. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm over here.
There we go. Let me see here. Let me go to my part.
Well, I mean, you haven't lifted yet.
Here we go.
That's a pretty good stop.
Hold on.
In fact, you wanted
So at this point, he's pulling into the pits. I mean, you know that big asphalt area?
Yes.
He now we're going 168, and he completely locks him up. 4-wheel lock, slide, and everything. Watch.
All right, let's bring it on to pit road hot. You ready? My braking point for pit road is about right here. Oh, this thing stops good. Oh, nice. That was a pretty good stop.
Nice stop, boys.
All right, so now I get in it.
How come you don't have to wear a helmet?
Because I don't know.
Is that called a Chinese fire drill, what you guys just did?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a racist.
No, this is
sub?
me. This
Oh,
is,
geez, my dad taught me that. I'm
this-
sorry.
This is me taking off.
It's like a porno.
Amateur porn. They hop
No,
in the
you can
back.
hold on. You can tell. You can tell how
Shift my
fast,
gear.
Dan. You can tell how fast we're going by. Watch the letters behind Keselowski's head. The Daytona International Speedway. That's what it says.
Loud speed on exit 13.
See, hold on. Maybe.
Running that line right there. So I was a little mid. Yeah, yep. That definitely hurts the speed here.
See that, Dan?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean-
you see that perspective. It's
Yeah, we're probably going 150 before I got to build up here.
Mid. Yeah, yep. That definitely hurts the speed here.
yeah, that's
That's what Trump should have did. He should have drive. Here we go. Now we're in the corner.
Same thing here. But you want to run the line right in the middle here.
and you don't look to the right either.
No.
Because then you're gonna end up in the top.
Now we're in the corner. We're actually in the corner.
Yeah, you're banked. You can see you guys.
Is this the fastest you've ever gone in a car? How fast have you gone?
I've gone. I went 175 in a sprint car at Brunswick one time.
A little too much, not bad. Now, when you're coming down here, you want to come like right here, don't you? Right? Yeah. Yep. Apex, right at the start finish line.
First
Then
aid,
you gotta
small
bring
talk.
right here like this.
All right. So anyway,
Who's that guy, Bubba?
That's Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, he raced yesterday too.
Oh, he's a okay,
Yeah,
cool.
he's a NASCAR guy.
Hell yeah.
Oh, a caveat to this story. So we had 4.6 Crown Vics at the track as a support class for USAC this past weekend. And there was only like a handful of them that showed up. There was just one dude. I think his name's John Allen, or Jimmy Allen or John Allen. And he's got like 4 or 5 of these Crown Vics. And so after they ran, the USAC ran their A main, and then the Crown Vics, poor little Crown Vics, like all 8 of them, most like 82% of the crowd leaves after the real sexy class USAC is done. You know what I'm saying? And so there's only a handful of people that watch the poor little 4.6ers. And so they ran, and this guy won 2 nights in a row, and he's kind of a bigger dude, and he's like, man, why don't you get in there and drive it? I'm like, man, I don't have a helmet. I don't have a fire suit or nothing. So I got in it. No helmet, no fire suit, no Hans, no seat belts, and drove this Crown .6 around my track. But because I know the track so well, and I used to race, I got within a half a second of the track record. Whoa! But I didn't. I kind of was like, man, if I blow a tire and I end up in the wall,
you're dead.
I don't have
anything.
I don't have any helmet. I don't have any seatbelts.
Why did he have a 5-point?
I was bigger than him.
Oh,
we'd have to adjust it. So he's gonna build one for me, Lummy, and I'm gonna start racing at my track the 4.6s.
Nice.
I gotta get one of my old race uniforms out of. I had them all framed back in the day. I'm gonna get my Mopar one out, which I think is the biggest.
Yeah, but
one.
the old ones, Bubba, aren't as they're expired.
Doesn't matter, Dan, with a 4.6. I mean,
I just want you to be safe.
Yeah,
I
but
don't want you to get a little burned.
I'm not gonna get burned. So I drove up, and I was like hooked. Oh. So then I was like, hey, could we get like 8 of them for my guys? And we do the Bubba 25?
Nice.
And he was like, yeah, I could probably line up, so you get one, Dan gets one, Seth gets one, Macho gets one, Rhett gets one. Whoever wants one gets one. And we're going to race one weekend at my track and call the Bubba 25.
Deal.
And me and Lasker are going to start at the back. just because we have more experience than y'all. We'll probably put Seth on the pole.
Eat my clay.
Nice.
We'll put Seth on the pole, probably Rhett outside pole. Lummy, you third.
Sweet.
I'll be third from the back.
Yeah, you and Jay will be before me and Lasker. So we'll probably, Lasker and I will probably be fourth row back, something like that. Here is.
I'm looking to take people out and end this thing early.
Are you?
Oh, that's great.
You're looking to put a nose on somebody.
I'm looking to put a bitch on the wall, high side Willie.
Okay.
Make him taste that motor oil.
You're gonna go after first there, Seth.
I can't wait for the invisible fire.
Whoever's there.
Here is. Now the thing about it is you got to be going 65 miles an hour in order for your car to stay on the bank, the 31 to 33 degree banking that Daytona has. You've got to be going 65 miles an hour or your car will start sliding down. And it feels like it's going to flip over. I don't know why they didn't put the Beast. Lummy, all they did was drive Donald Trump's limousine on the apex. They never got up on the banking.
That's weird.
Maybe because it's so heavy that
it may slide down without. It may have to do like 110 to keep it up there.
So 65,
and it's not super sticky.
65 for an average car, but it might be $1 for something that weighs 50,000 pounds because it's got all this bulletproofness made to it.
And he didn't have to. All he had to do was show up, do his parade lap, and everyone, he got the same pop. And, again, he's become the people's president.
I mean, right here, you got to make sure you start dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Will kind of spit you down and out.
Honestly, when I give rides around Daytona, places like here in Talladega, my favorite thing to do is actually slow them down. Let them feel that. They get really nervous thinking the car is going to flip over at slow speed. At high speed, when these guys get up upwards 200 mile an hour, believe it or not, you don't even feel the bank, do you, Kevin?
No, and when you're going slow like that, it feels like the car is actually going to spin out the wrong way down the hill.
Or flip over.
Yeah, or flip over, one or the other.
All right, so
Toyotas, Fords, and Chevrolets.
So that's the president pacing a little bit, kind of pacing the field a little bit. Lummy, is this a brief description on
kind of talks about
what they call the Beast? This is the presidential Cadillac limousine that I think's been around. I think this particular design was around since George W. And I think Obama inherited it. Then Trump inherited it, and then Biden. I don't think they've had it. I think this particular one was designed right before Obama.
I thought they'd make a new generation for every new president, and Obama was the first one with the Escalades. And then, because they're not in Escalades now, they're back to a limousine, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
Complicated motorcade in the world. With around 50 vehicles and over 100 personnel, the United States presidential motorcade has a single objective: keep the president alive. At the heart of the motorcade
Listen, when he used to stay at the Don Cesar and I lived out that way, we would go to the Bayway store and watch the presidential motorcade. And they're right. They usually have like 2 local guys and then like 6 or 8 ambulances and then like a couple vans and then like maybe the president and then like a couple more vans. And sometimes they'll have wreckers and ambulances. Like there's just, and then they'll have 4 or 5 cars that look just like the president's car that's carrying dignitaries and other things. But like there's not one car that looks just like the president. They bring 4 or 5 dummy cars because they have 4 or 5 of these backups.
Wouldn't it be easier to just put him in a Corolla and have him blend in with traffic?
He gets gridlock, road rage.
is the car that carries the president himself, known as the Beast. But it's less of a limo and more of a comfy tank. The presidential car, also known as Cadillac One, is designed to withstand any and all attacks. The Beast costs around $1.5 million.
Man.
Wow.
$1.5 million. Wow. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App at the Bubba Army.
And weighs in at a whopping 20,000 pounds, which is about the same weight as a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Dr. Remulac,
Every Secret Service
$105.
agent has to
Thank you, Dr. Remulac.
Driving course.
105.
limo.
Oh, Red, if you can run back there and turn the compressor on.
The doors are 8-inch thick, the windows will stop a bullet from a Magnum, and the floor is built on a modified truck bed with armor floor plates to protect from bombs and grenades. It's even hermetically sealed to prevent biological attacks with its own oxygen supply. On board, you'll find rocket-powered grenades, night vision optics, a tear gas cannon, pump-action shotguns, and even 2 liters of the president's blood type. But as we all know, it's not just one car that keeps the president moving. There's a whole fleet of...
I never knew Deanna had all those things, including 2 liters of his blood.
Vehicles that play their role when the president's in transit. In fact, the beast containing the president isn't even the only beast involved.
See, what I tell you, Lemmy, they'll throw 4 or 5 dummy beasts, because I used to watch him go to the when the president came to town. He always stays at the Don. At least George W. did. And their rendition of the beast was a little bit different than this, but there'd be like 5 cars that looked like bushes.
There are at least 2 identical armoured limos in every motorcade, both with matching registration plates. This means that potential...
Cop pulls him over. Do you know why I pulled you over? Because you got the same registration plate as the guy in front of you? What's going on around here?
Attackers have no clue which one contains the actual sitting president. And these 2 limos make up just one part of the motorcade known as...
Oh, man, they have so many cars.
The
secure package.
The vehicles in the secure package are designed to break away from the motorcade should an attack take place. Also in the secure package is the United States Secret Service Countermeasures Suburban. This car jams any remote explosives that might be en route using...
So he jammed... This is like a jammer.
Yeah, it's cell phones and everything.
2 antennas that send out a huge range of radio frequencies that block any bomb activation signal. It also has electronic warfare sensors that detects if an RPG or anti-tank missile is launched. It's believed that if it did detect a rocket, the car would release smoke canisters across the secure package to throw off grenades and/or missiles. However, that's just speculation because it's obviously classified. After that comes 3 separate SUVs with one distinct difference. 2 of them have their rear window open and 1 doesn't. These...
Oh, I bet the rear window's got gunners back there.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, listen.
2 SUVs are called the halfback and the cat car. If the president's in danger, it's the job of the halfback to defend the beast and the job of the cat car to take the fight to the insurgents. The reason their rear window is open? Well, that's so the rear-facing passengers can open fire at a moment's notice. The car with the closed rear window is the control car. The control car carries the most essential staff, such as the president's military aide and doctor. In front of the secure package...
So they got a doctor with them.
You'll find the route car, pilot car, lead car, and a whole host of motorbikes known as sweepers. The route and pilot car scout the route ahead and relay information to the lead car, which leads the secure package to the motorcades behind them. The motorbikes are in charge of clearing the way for the motorcade by ushering cars out of the way and by blocking off roads and junctions. This role may seem simple, but should the convoy need to be diverted for whatever reason, the route and pilot cars must be able to react and communicate that quickly.
I can't think of, since JFK, and you people that are smarter than me and historians, let me know. I can't think since JFK, well, maybe Ronald Reagan, because that happened near a car, but it wasn't when he was in the car.
No, he was getting to the car.
Right. So really, I can't think of, they've had a car attempt while the president was, mobile in a car since JFK.
I don't think so. And Bubba, they don't like slowing down or stopping.
No, they don't.
They like to keep moving. A stop is dangerous.
So one time, man, Lummy, they were blocking off all of 275 from downtown Tampa clear to the Don Cesar, right?
Yes.
Well, I was coming home from the studios one day about, I don't know, maybe noon, and I just happened to be like the last car that made it through the blockade. They blocked off the entrance to 275 like right after me. Well, so I'm driving home, and I'm like, something ain't right here. I'm the only car on the streets, and I knew the president was in town. But so what I did then at like 22nd Avenue South, I got off, and there were cops blocking it. They're like, "What are you doing on the road?" I'm like, "Listen, I'm taking myself off the road because obviously I've slipped through the cracks, and for some reason, and I don't want to get." The presidential parade up my ass here in about 5 minutes and get in trouble.
Was that when you were driving your Daewoo?
No, I was actually driving Heather's Escalade.
Oh, nice.
Had a white Escalade, and they're like, okay, well, stay right here. Where are you going? I said, I'm going down to the Bayway Country Market, that area. And so the guy actually said, swear to God, he said, they're 10 minutes out. If you want to get back on and get home, you can. I appreciate you, pulling off. But if you want to just expedite getting home. So he let me back on, and I went home.
Yeah, but they called and said, "Hey, white SUV coming through. Make sure he gets through and off, and keep an eye on him."
Right.
You know, and again,
One
that's what they
example-
should have done to that guy at Butler, PA. When they have something that's aberrant, there's something that's out of whack, there's something that doesn't seem right. Everybody needs to know. So obviously you were encountered, you were screened. They determined you weren't an immediate threat.
I told
but they
them
should
I
keep
told them
paying
I-
attention to you.
I told on myself.
Right, and they should keep paying attention to you.
They did.
Out of the picture.
So when I got to the Bayway, man, the guy was waiting for me, and he coned me in. Lummy Mushroom Mitch, my soul has been refilled. Hold on. My soul has been refilled after this year's Winter Nationals. I'm so thankful to have these experiences. You're the man. You know what? All the Bubba Army that came out, Buck and Tuttle and Colton and Mushroom Mitch and the Nashes and Austin Wolf and Buck and his wife and just Bob Cook. Not a fan. Big Red. Everybody that came out, thank you so much. Had a great time. As you know, I'm working my ass off. I didn't get near the opportunity to come see you guys, but thanks for making it out. Appreciate y'all. And hey, Rhett, can you turn on the air the air compressor back there?
Hey, Dan, do you recommend
because
that
it's turned off?
Do you recommend that everybody leaves their house with at least a couple, gallons of their own blood or bags or anything like that?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You can just take all the tampons and squish them into a little 2-liter bottle.
We weren't quite going there, but whatever.
In 1996.
Let me if Rhett can't
bag
hear
it yourself.
if
I told him just walk back there.
Then President Bill Clinton was visiting the Philippines and was scheduled to meet with a local politician in Manila. During the journey, intelligence officers picked up a message containing the words bridge and marriage. While this may seem like no big deal to you or me, this sent alarm bells going off throughout the motorcade. This is because marriage was known to be a code word for assassination. The motorcade diverted away from an upcoming bridge.
You know what it is?
Of course, Clinton's gonna have that.
But I mean, for all men, man, they really hit it on the head.
Marriage.
Marriage equals. I mean, it's not necessarily it's an assassination of your soul. It really is.
Thanks to the quick thinking of all involved. Soon after, it was discovered that a bomb had been planted under that
Oh, wow. I did not know that. 1996 with Clinton, there was a bomb under a bridge.
So they can see that, Bubba, but not some guy on a roof in Pennsylvania?
Exactly.
Yeah, with a AR-15.
Exactly. That's
you.
when the Secret Service actually cared about our president back then.
reportedly organised by Osama bin Laden. Behind the secure package is a fleet of support vehicles, including the ID car, which liaises with other counter-surveillance agencies, the Roadrunner, which acts as a mobile communications centre, and the Hazardous Materials Mitigation Unit.
Man, Dan, they got everything. They have got everything.
Which contains equipment and personnel that can respond to chemical, nuclear, and biological.
Think about how much it costs to get all of these into every city the president travels to.
Plus, they have to go ahead of time, pre-screen it, walk the course.
I know a guy that worked for Secret Service, and they're no less than 5 days prior. They'll go get every high building top. They'll secure, they know every possible perch point.
They also secure the local hospital. When the president would come to New Orleans, and I was in New Orleans, Charity Hospital was the point of resuscitation if there was a tragedy or an assassination attempt.
So they have
or
a team. They have a team ready to go.
They would send a team of Secret Service to the hospital about 4 or 5 days ahead of time. They would interview all the people that were going to be there on that shift. And then those people had to be the ones on that shift. Any changes you'd have to go through, and you had to get a quick 2-minute interview with somebody. And then they would monitor it, and they'd keep people there the entire time. Once they established it was safe, they would keep someone there 24/7 until the event was over.
Logical attacks, as well as.
So once they had cleared you, they didn't have the resources to clear everybody, so they'd lock you down and you'd be there.
Yeah.
Vehicles containing more Secret Service agents, politicians, emergency personnel, and members of the press. Now, all of this may seem like a lot, and that nothing could ever go wrong, but the Secret Service actually view it as the exact opposite. To them, the safest motorcade is no motorcade. Travelling by car is seen as one of the moments when the president is at their most vulnerable, so the motorcade will only be used for journeys of 30 minutes or less. For everything else, there's Marine One and Air Force One. It's estimated that this one trip, which takes around an hour, costs over $150,000. So in short, it's an expensive business protecting the most powerful person in the world. But many would argue It's a small price to
Yeah, small price to pay.
I guess there also is the ground force one, which is a huge bus.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had that.
When I return, I guess we'll get into this Whoopi Goldberg situation at The View. I would be listen, I don't really dislike a lot. Well, I do dislike a lot of people.
Does everybody forget how good she was in Ghost? I mean, I don't feel like anybody really reverts to that when
Don't forget Sister Act.
Or Jumpin' Jack Flash.
But hold the deal.
Sister Act was good.
She has changed. She has changed so much since then. She is really, really, really gone.
Was she cool back then?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
She was a
cooler.
comedian. When she was a comedian, she was great. When she becomes a political pundit, she sucks.
Right. Exactly.
Is Barbara Walters rolling over in her grave right now?
I think she is.
Yeah.
I met Barbara Walters at Howard Stern's wedding.
Did she fool around with you to get the interview? Okay.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
I mean, should I watch them? Do they hold up?
Yeah, man. I don't know if they hold up, Seth.
Is it a musical?
There was she did a movie called Jumpin' Jack Flash, didn't she?
Yeah, don't worry, Eddie. The basketball movie, Eddie.
I only know Ghost.
She was a hardcore fan that turned into the coach.
Oh, with the Knicks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I know so much about Whoopi.
Oh, boy. Wow, look at Lummy, a closet Whoopi guy. It's
How
all
Whoopi
coming out.
work.
Look at that. Couple,
Yeah.
At least I got a couple movies to watch today. We should have Lummy's movie recommendation of the week, but have it every day. All right, I'm gonna go urine.
Okay, bud.
Okay, thank you.
Whoops.
No, I mean I didn't watch it. I mean I'll be honest. Like All-Star events don't even.
Here's
Don't interest me at all.
It kind of was just like, just just leave it as how it was.
Well, you know what people were saying, because everybody said how much it sucked? Charles Barkley goes, well, if these guys would have actually played hard, then they wouldn't have to be tinkering around with the new format.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I thought that was a good point.
Yeah, LeBron didn't even play.
I know, and they said that he should have fucking given up his spot for somebody else.
Yeah.
Because they said he should have. I don't know, man.
But I mean, Charles does make a good point.
Did you see Steph Curry made a half court? Steph Curry made a half court shot.
Just do half court shots mandatory.
What's that?
Just make it like 4 points. and like implement it into the NBA.
Dude, I even watched the Celebrity Game.
Did you?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart play again?
Not Kevin Hart. Like Drewski played. Kai Cenat played. They had a couple WNBA players. Shabuzi.
Oh, okay.
I think Baron Davis. Maybe not.
Any old school?
What's that?
Any old school guys? Bill Murray?
No.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito Studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Much love and thank you to my boy Tom from Giant Recreation World. They were big-time clients when we had Florida Man Radio in Orlando. Tom is stuck with the Bubba Radio Network, the BRN, Bubba Army. Thank you, Tom. Giant Recreation World. Go to the website, giantrecreationworld.com. 3 convenient locations. I think Buck used them this weekend. It's the best, man. If you're going to an event, like I might be going to the Gator Nationals, and I'll get a hold of Tom, and they'll take your RV, get it all set up, get it all leveled, make sure you have the proper, cooking utensils and towels and toiletries and sheets and blankets. Whatever you would need, they get it all set up for you. You pay them, bam. They come pick it up when you're done. Giant Recreation World, 3 locations in the Orlando area. Thank you, Tom, for all that you do, my friend. Thank you for sticking with us as well. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all at the Bubba Army. Better yet, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe if you can. You can also buy a membership if you like. That costs $4.99 and get you some membership-only type stuff. But just to subscribe and get notifications when we have a brand new video that comes up, that's free. I got nearly 1,100 people on it right now with only 27 thumbs, Lummy, which people are just sitting here gobbling up all the entertainment.
You just hit a refresh on that, Bubba. You got more than 40.
Yeah, it's out there, 41.
So sorry. Yes, we're at 197. Story of my life, needing to refresh. Yes, exactly. I'm way behind. So anyway, over 1,000 watching with 197. So about 8% of people have decided to give us a thumbs up. That really helps the algorithm. So we would appreciate you if you would give us a thumbs up on our YouTube, and more importantly, follow and get a notification. Everything we do, pretty much from Instagram to Facebook to YouTube to Rumble to X, is all at the Bubba Army. Try to follow us along on one of those places if you could, please. This is The View. Now, do they have the press secretary in there for the United States for Donald Trump? Is that her right here?
No, that is not her. That is
Meghan McCain?
Meghan McCain, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Things couldn't get worse. They did. Sponsors started pulling out.
Yeah. I would like this young lady who's...
So this is them talking, I think, about maybe potentially what Whoopi's demise may be. Now, I was under the assumption that maybe she's been fired, but she's not.
No.
Is she unfireable?
Well, sort of.
That's what I'm saying. I think she's unfireable.
I don't even know what... I can't find really much on it.
Of options. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, they did. Sponsors started pulling out.
Yeah. I would like this young lady this is her first job. I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because...
No, I disagree.
Well, who's the person? It's a female?
Talking about the press secretary.
The press secretary?
The United States...
He's talking about her.
Yeah, that's what she's talking about.
Okay.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation.
I don't know. I think that Sarah Huckabee didn't get her job on wokeness.
I don't think so.
I think there's several women that have done that job that, where their accomplishments, their past accolades got them that job.
Dana Perino. It wasn't because of woke. It's because she was sharp and smart and quick.
The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this.
Well, the first female press secretary was under, of course, Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
In '93.
There wasn't
Myers.
There wasn't even such thing as wokeness going on back there.
No.
You can still get some nice oral in the White House with a cigar kicker.
Now, to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
What?
Because black people couldn't get into colleges.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, okay, I guess you're doing wokeness is from the 60s.
Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all...
Well, you just
she just said it was black, and now she's saying it's women.
You just said it was black.
I think she was saying black men. She's confusing.
The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. Because black people couldn't get into colleges. Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women.
Man, we are so divided as a country. We are more divided as a country when it comes to white and black. And they're doing it to us. It's not necessarily the way us as Americans feel or the way we roll around. It's them. It's people like these talking heads that are continuing to drive it into our heads.
It's equity versus equality, which is equity is equal outcomes, equality is equal opportunities. If you try to force equal outcomes, then you're going to, by definition, racially discriminate against certain people. So it sucks. It's BS. And what everyone should want is the best in that position. Male, female, black, white, Catholic, Jewish, doesn't matter. Trans, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
You pull trans chain.
But society fails when you reduce your standards in order to be more inclusive. That is ridiculous. A woman can do just as well as a man on a test and should have equal opportunities to get into a college. A woman cannot do as well as a man on a football field and shouldn't play football. A man shouldn't play women's swimming. But they should have equal opportunities in the workplace and in the universities and in society. And that is what the goal should be and has been. But when you take a subclass and make it a superclass,
right,
and give them better privileges, better freedoms, better rights than the rest of the people, come on.
Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we
Well, I got to tell you, Bill Clinton had the first female press secretary. What do you got to say about that?
Mm-hmm. And Bubba, when we were kids, we were taught, don't see black, don't see white, see it as people. We're a melting pot. We all belong together. And what they're saying is see black, see white, see red, see the differences.
See gender.
And highlight the differences. You know, it shouldn't matter if you have a penis or vagina. I don't see a penis or vagina. It's invisible to me. I look at the person and their responses, their success, and their failures.
Busted our asses to make sure that this was a...
Advertisers didn't want to be associated with a show that had become more about shouting and walk-offs than actual debate. Even loyal fans of The View started to wonder, had the show finally gone too far? And then the moment no one saw coming. ABC removed Whoopi Goldberg from The View. Of course, they didn't call it a firing. They spun it with the usual PR nonsense, claiming she was taking a break to focus on other projects.
Is that true, Lummy? Will you look into that?
I'm looking. They got her coming on the Weekend View. I mean, I haven't seen it. I mean, the
ABC.
This guy sounds official.
This guy sounds like he's
why
the
are
head
we
of the
doubting him?
Philadelphia Eagle fan club.
Bubba, I mean, she was on 4 days ago talking about Elon Musk's kid. That's the only controversy.
But everyone knew the
lately.
truth. She got the boot. Whoopi had spent years controlling The View, turning it into a one-sided echo chamber where opposing voices were mocked, dismissed, and silenced. She had built her reputation on dominating every debate, treating any pushback like an inconvenience. But one debate,
like Warren Sapp,
one showdown with Caroline Levitt changed everything. And now, The View was in complete turmoil. Would ABC bring in another?
Do we have that Caroline Levitt?
No, there's not.
Whoopi.
We're thinking this is completely made up, Bubba. I think, right?
There's
Lummi?
nothing. The only thing on is Elon.
Get to carry on her legacy of shutting down opposition, or would they finally admit that the show needed balance? Could The View even survive this level of backlash? And had Caroline just set a new standard for how conservatives fight back against mainstream media? Whoopi thought she could steamroll Caroline like she had done to so many others. Instead, she got completely wrecked. And now, as ABC scrambles to clean up the mess, the entire world is watching. Whoopi Goldberg was once The View's biggest star.
So, is this just completely made up?
We gotta start doing that, man. Look at that.
Just playing made up stories?
I think that guy made that up. Because the only thing I can find is, Elon, he made fun of his kid's name. That's about it.
That's it.
Where'd you find that, Bubba? AOL? Or did somebody send it to you?
She's actually, Whoopi's going to be joining the Weekend View. They're doing a weekend show now.
I didn't hear him say anything about that in the reporting. By the way, if you Caroline Levitt's married to a 60-year-old man, and if you just search to see what her husband looks like, a bunch of bikini pictures and fun pictures of her pop up from a couple years ago. Go have at it, fellas.
What are what would you have us do?
I would actually, you know what? I just like
again, African Americans that are bonding together to armchair quarterback our current administration and to, in my opinion, plant in the back of everybody's head us versus them type mentality. I don't see African Americans trying to bridge the gap that we have between black and white so that we can coexist in our country as Americans instead of black or white Americans.
Do you think it's black versus white people, or do you think it's Democrats versus Republicans?
Well, here's the deal. I think there's a little bit of both, but I also think that you couldn't have two white guys on here talking about black people. I don't think you could. I don't think you could. I don't think you could have a white expert and a white journalist throwing it to a white expert saying the things that they're saying as black people against white people. I don't think that they can do that. They're stirring this up.
It's also
they're dividing us more than ever. We're becoming more divided by the media than ever.
It's all about have versus have not. It's not just white, black, male, female, Jewish, Catholic, Christian, Muslim. It's the haves versus the have-nots, and they can split it up for different reasons. But the common denominator behind all of the special interest groups is have not, and they don't have the resources they think they should.
What would you have us do?
I would actually, you know what? I just like you to show that you give a damn, that you got a little emotion about the fact that people are losing their jobs indiscriminately.
I think as they're talking about Trump and Musk coming into various government agencies and cleaning house on all the waste, and that's affecting, a lot of people and a lot of African Americans, and they're mad about it.
That this individual sitting down 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue has given absolute power to one man who brings his son into the Oval Office, whose son says to him, "You're not the president." you shouldn't be in that chair. Now, where did he get that from? He got it from his daddy, because that's what his daddy thinks is the man who brought him into the Oval Office. So I just like to see somebody wake the hell up and get excited about the fact that your country is under assault. They're not at the gate anymore. They're in your bedrooms. They're in your living rooms. They're in your businesses. They got your data, dumbass. They got all your stuff. Elon Musk has his tentacles in everything you're doing, not just off of X, but now he's in the Treasury Department. He's in the Labor Department. He's in the Department of Homeland Security. And nobody seems to give a damn. So that's all I want, somebody to show that they care enough to get off their fat ass and say something about it.
But let's be honest.
I thought that was an SNL bit the first I had to watch it a couple times. I wasn't sure. Because he ramped himself up.
Oh, man. When we return, supposedly, this might be a Dan question, Americans are battling the worst flu season in years. And isn't it always... Every year,
it's the worst.
It's the worst flu season in years.
Yeah, I heard it's really bad in Indiana too, specifically.
Every year, Kanye West supposedly is getting a divorce. There is no prenup.
Good.
The international hockey game. I think this was USA versus Canada. Tampa Bay's very own Brandon Hagel gets into a fight, and then we're going to get into.
He's a nice guy.
We're going to get into the fact that. The Justin, what's the guy? Who's the kicker?
Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker, the
Ravens.
I think he has a body of work that could this might taint it, but I think so far his body of work is certainly probably a first-time Hall of Famer.
Well, yeah,
this could taint it.
It's a little sketchy. You might have to have an asterisk next to it.
But I mean,
16 women have come forward. Talked about this guy.
16?
Yeah, it's like 8 more came forward.
8 more came forward that he likes to do the Deshaun Watson deal, and that is get these masseuses, these female masseuses, to take his wiener around the farm. And there's been 7 more ladies come up on that deal. So that and more next.
If you love that segment, then check out BubbaArmyHQ.com and do a deep dive on past shows. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be right back.
Man, it's getting colder out.
It sure is.
Yeah, we're getting down.
Nice. Keith Yeager, $100. Woo!
Beep beep.
Keith Yeager.
Well, I mean, my daughter had her game on Saturday.
How much did they do?
Yeah, they dropped this one 20-6. They're 0-4.
They lost 20-6?
Yeah, 20-6. They're
How many
0-4.
rebounds did she get?
2. She actually had her first 2 rebounds of the year. I was really fucking psyched.
That's awesome.
Sure, she had a couple turnovers, but who the fuck's counting those, okay? Jeez Louise, get off my case about it, man. She's trying.
You said you were going to start having her do rebounds.
We did a lot of passing drills because she's coming up when she's the point guard. She's just hurling the ball in the air, and we have a lot of short kids on the team. But either way, she finally, after this game, she's like, I'm tired of losing.
Oh,
and I said, that's the fucking spirit. That's how we breed competitors.
Ran down to a cleanup. Always away crying in no time. Return now to Washington.
Maybe wait till tomorrow. Richard Longwood, what's up, Longwood? You're up there. Sure. Nice. What's up, Jay from New Orleans? Jay from New Orleans.
Hey, I'll pay Walker $25 a week for the next 4 games if he wants to come over and be
the goon.
Well, no, I mean he's bigger than half. He's bigger than most of the 7-year-olds on the team.
He goon where he takes a couple girls out.
Well, no, I mean there's not that many girls. We only have the girls. I need him to kind of clean up some boards and stuff like that. Get nasty in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe throw a fucking elbow. Let him know that just because
maybe a strong forward rebounder.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so we haven't won a game. We're not a bunch of pussies. Now gonna have a 3-year-old take care of business.
He's a flopper right now.
Oh, he's a flopper? We could use that. They don't let him shoot free throws, but I mean...
Yeah, but get the fouls, get the ball back.
Yeah, that could work.
Good kids out because he'll just run over to the kid and fall over.
God, man.
I'll get Ashley in the stands yelling about the fouls.
I know, man. I just shut my mouth this week. I didn't even say shit.
Nothing? Even after that pep talk from the best bench coach in soccer history of 5- and 6-year-olds?
Man, we didn't even have our bench coach. We just had one coach this week, man. It was oh, man.
I listened to the segment of Babyface, how he set up the whole thing, how he was the best.
Yeah, the best bench coach, yeah.
And then later to find out that he was the bench coach and not an actual coach.
And was only talking
He
about...
talked shit about Dr. Dan being a coach.
That's true.
Coach, and then he comes off like,
He was
I
just
coached my daughter.
He's pretty much a snack bitch.
Yeah, he was snack bitch and then keeping track of who hasn't gotten in the game or not.
That one didn't do you in, though, did it, Cletus? No. What's going on up here, guys?
Well, you hear it now.
Been pretty boring since I wrecked. Something like that.
I'll tell you, your interview at the media center was all time, which is why our producer Jolly invited you up.
I was fired up, These guys blowing me off the track. I get it. I'm out there in the snake 30. A ton of stuff. Hauling tail like a ball nigga down that straight. You guys saw it. And so they took me.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabedo studios.
Aquabedo.com/Bubba.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Somebody sent me a clip of, and if this happened, this is great. He started off as a YouTuber, and now he is just huge. And when he first started off as a YouTuber, he actually took over my race car shop over by the Sunshine Speedway, or I should say, what's it called? Showtime now.
Showtime Speedway.
And his name's Cletus McFarland. Everybody knows him. He's really, really, really super popular on YouTube. He went and bought the Bradenton I-70 asphalt facility years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and he's turned it into what they call the Freedom Factory. And he's probably put $1 million into it. New bleachers, new lighting, new racing surface, new burnout and drifting strip. He also took the money that he's been making from YouTube, which has been unbelievable, purchased a helicopter. He purchased a plane. He's taught himself how to fly. He's both a helicopter pilot and a plane pilot. He then he went in halves with the drag strip on the same property, and he's just absolutely killing it. He does like Crown Vic races. He does drifting expeditions. He does drag races. It's under the Cletus McFarland umbrella, and I think they might have 3 or 4 million YouTube subscribers.
Wow.
But he's just really killing it. I couldn't be any more happier for the dude. He's a great guy. And supposedly he was on the Fox broadcast of the Daytona 500 yesterday. Now, I watched just maybe a minute of it before. That's why I was a little late getting into words. But he alludes to the fact that he might have been driving a car that wrecked earlier. So let me just play it. And which, by the way, I'm a huge Cletus admirer and fan. I just couldn't be any more happier for what he's been able to take a racetrack and turn it into a YouTube content gold mine. I wish I lived closer to my track. I could maybe do that on the dirt side of things if I wanted. But
but you're super close. You're an hour and 15 minutes away.
That's a long. I mean, in order to maintain this job, that's a long ways away. I mean, if I leave as soon as I get up there, if I leave as soon as the show's over, I get there at 12. I can really only work till about 4. Then I got to get back. Maybe I don't know.
I understand about the work and everything. I'm just saying the distance. When you add it up with everything, yeah, it's a lot.
I'd have to get with Tom Bean and the Diacos and Fabrizi. I'd have to raise some capital in order to build like a couple big race shops on the property. And but you could certainly use what the Cletus McFarland template to show you that it can be done. You can base a YouTube channel around a racetrack, and I could possibly do that. Here he is. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead.
Oh, he it looks like he raced in the ARCA, and it looks like on lap 5 he crashed.
All right, so you raced in the ARCA.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard, and I could be way off, and if Cletus hears this or whatever, and I'm way off, then I certainly apologize. I have no idea on your numbers and your monthly YouTube money, but I heard his monthly YouTube money was $400,000 a year. I mean, I'm sorry, a month.
Oof.
$300,000 to $400,000 a month.
Wow.
Good. I mean, great job. And it started out in a little race shop, which was formerly my race car shop. It started out there, them just building hot rods and custom cars and stuff like that, and they've really done a great job with their channel. It's the Cletus McFarland channel. If you don't follow it, go follow it and tell him that you're Bubba Army. I need to get a hold of him, Lummy, and do more stuff with him.
Keith Yeager, $100.
So he ran the ARCA race, correct?
Yes.
All right. Then Fox knows, listen, you may not be Brad Pitt or George Clooney or Tom Cruise, but these YouTube stars are just as influential as movie stars with regards to their audience coming to watch your programming. So when you incorporate these big YouTube stars, and especially Cletus McFarland, a guy that's, positioned himself in motorsports, it wouldn't be bad to have him in the booth. And they bring him up, Lummy, in the booth, I think, to talk about his ARCA experience and to maybe do a little play-by-play here for NASCAR.
Nice.
Well, we've talked about the number of cautions that we've had today. 6 for 29 laps. One guy involved.
Good golly.
Cletus McFarland.
R.I.P. my door.
Yeah. That one didn't do you in, though, did it, Cletus?
No. What's going on up here, guys?
Well, you hear him now.
Been pretty boring since
I think his slogan on his channel is Cletus McFarland. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother.
Correct?
Something like that.
I'll tell you, your
interview
interview at the media center was all time, which is why our producer Jolly invited you up.
I was fired up, These guys blow.
By the way, this guy, I've met this guy when I was at my race shop. He's 6'6". This guy's 6'6". Just a good dude, man. Just a really good dude.
Big in the trousers?
What's that?
Big in the trousers, you think?
I don't know how he's hung, but I mean he's a really good dude that's taken nothing and turned it into a multi-million-dollar corporation while owning a by owning a race facility,
nice
drag strip and roundy round. This guy's the man.
Get it? I'm out there in the Connect 30, hauling tail like a bald eagle down this straight. You guys saw it, and so they took me out. What am I supposed to do?
They didn't want you to win, did they?
Yeah, it was a tough break. We were freaking ripping, locked in, bam, door off the car, you know.
Let me see if you can find the Cletus McFarland ARCA wreck.
Here I am sliding in the infield. Got her fired back up, bombing down in the first and second top 7,800 RPM, and just made a split-second decision. Wasn't the right one. So after the third wreck, I got caught up in it. Not my fault.
I know you had a lot of fun up until that moment. Are we going to see you back in an ARCA car?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I had the best time of my life. I've never felt more freedom than ripping in a pack of 40 cars. It was amazing.
See, I kind of like the no nonsense guys. You know, don't you guys?
And dry humor.
I never felt more freedom than ripping in a 40 pack.
Honestly, one of the most incredible experiences of my life, and I'm super bummed to be out. So I think I'm gonna make a revisit to Dega. You know, get my hot rod fixed up.
I don't think Daigle can handle Cletus
and
McFarland.
I'm going to Daigle.
What do you think?
Okay, you know, I'm going to cut my sleeves back even further, and I'll be there with the number 30.
What surprised you the most about being here at Daytona? I know you did the test earlier last month, whatever. What surprised you about it?
I would say what surprised me the most is the lack of control within the group. The amount of...
Tony has also often said that when you're back 5-6 deep and that draft is really carrying you along, that you're like half throttle dragging the brake so that you don't hit the guy in front of you. Like you literally are dragging the brake half throttle.
Well, but one of the things that I thought took some interest out of this race was in the first 10 laps before the second rain delay, they were monitoring the speeds, and these guys were doing 178 and they were at 60% throttle. The front guys,
right?
They were all holding back to save fuel. The whole race was 20 miles an hour slower than normal because they were just sitting there waiting for the end of the first section.
That front guy who's getting as much push as the next, if he's holding back to 60%, that guy that's, let's say this guy back here,
he's 40, 35.
He's 40%,
right.
And he's dragging the brake so that he doesn't rear end the guy in front of him.
Right, so they're all just saving gas. So they're not even trying right now. They're just waiting for that last 5-6 laps before the end of the first lap.
You can see it right
just
here.
This shot right here. Yeah. These guys are probably the best, left, and I'm not saying I was perfect by any
the best left.
But I'm looking.
And you're right. They're the best left.
Listen, I'm looking out my window at this person next to me. I'm like, brother, keep your wheels straight. What the hell are you doing? We're swerving left and right. And what the heck are you doing? Sorry.
So, Lummy, you know that I did get in a Crown Vic at my track.
You sure did.
So I'm getting back into racing, too.
I don't know if that word's allowed. Anyway, but a lot of swerving, and I think that was ultimately the demise of my race, was people just not keeping their steering.
Man, I really appreciate Fox putting him in here, man. He's such a huge, iconic internet, YouTuber, that a guy like this, can raise the needle in your audience.
Pushes the needle more than a Michael Waltrip.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's amazing.
All right, Cletus, when you wrecked, we had an onboard camera.
I've seen that.
You looked at the camera. I think we have a shot of it. And you weren't sure what it was that you said. You knew the camera was rolling.
Oh, yeah, they had it live streamed. I said, sorry, guys, because I heard there was 50,000 people watching the in-car live stream. So I just wanted to say sorry to my fans. I told them, I said, listen, people, I'm going to Tona to
I'm going to Tona.
Destroy that infield with a burnout after I win. You know what I mean? I set high expectations. I was going for that infield. No, this one with the nice grass. That sucker would have looked like Supercross when I was done with it if I won this race. But, didn't go my way. So I said sorry to the boys at home watching, supporting me. And we'll be back for Dega.
Cletus, we talked about you having 4 million followers. What can people find?
4 million followers.
And if they follow you.
The full race, I got a timestamp, and then I sent you his post-race.
Subscribe to your YouTube page.
Yeah, you type in Cletus anywhere, you'll find the greatest automotive, sensational, building, ripping, shifting gears, letting her rip, tater chip type of content.
Letting her rip, tater chip. Seth couldn't be any more lost than now.
You could ever imagine. You type in Cletus on any platform, it's coming up. and you're going to enjoy yourselves. That's all I got to say.
Hey, we've enjoyed watching you, your time here. Looking forward to Talladega if you make it work.
Yeah.
To the Dega, Lummy.
At Talladega, I just want to give a shout out to my boy Squirrel McNutt for coming out here to support
Squirrel McNutt.
me, and looking forward to Dega.
Did you fly Consuelo down here?
Yeah, you can see it from right here.
Sideways, Tim Richmond goes around. Hey,
Consuelo, Lummy, I think is his Piper Cub that goes about 82 miles an hour.
Jake Finch is
Or it's his helicopter, one of the two. He's got a helicopter and a Piper Cub. I don't know which one's name's Consuelo.
Well,
Finch.
Two separate incidents there on that stack up.
Finch hard into the wall. A lot of contact for him. The caution is out.
Dan, you can see that Fox is, now I wouldn't say doing a DEI deal, but incorporated a woman into play-by-play on normally a man's, sport. But I like it.
This is what, the Bush series?
But I
The
like
seventh time.
Not the Bush, I guess.
It's the Xfinity series.
Xfinity.
It's good when they're knowledgeable.
By the way, she's real good.
Yeah, so
she's real good.
They have some women doing some Formula One stuff, and it's good when they're knowledgeable. Just like you have, if a female is doing a sports event and they've played that sport, it's great.
Yeah.
Is it true that the women that attend the 500 have to turn their back when the men are driving?
In the field. I know this.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
This is after the crash. The video before it.
A lot of anticipation, obviously, with Cletus and the.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. So this one here is the crash?
Yeah, 225.
40 drivers ready to go, want to etch their name.
225.
Shot her. Daytona.
Yeah, and you always wonder after a big crash like that how much everybody realizes we got to chill. We got to make it to the end of this thing, or we just going to ride now for a little while. Oh, no, same thing.
Yeah, he's number 30.
Now, is he this one?
The blackish
This
car.
one right here?
No,
Oh,
right there, yep.
So somebody takes him out.
Yes, I believe it's...
Sideways, coming off 4, same spot, hard into that inside wall once again. 4 cars involved. Looks like one will
It doesn't look like he really suffered that much damage.
escape.
Yeah, that was a 70 of Amber Balkan. I don't know if she
some chick spun him
touched
out.
the apron
I guess she
and then
crashed
shot
2
her
people.
car up the racetrack.
This track's got a lot of age on it now. It's 14 years that we've had this paving here, and it's starting to wear enough that handling is becoming an
There's
issue.
Cletus McFarland right there, right?
Yes.
His car looks fine. That's probably when he goes back out, Lummy.
How come these bitches don't get back in the mix when they're like chilling? Like, how come they don't just
40.
merge?
Green
Bang.
flag is in the air again. Great restart.
Yeah, their tires are flat. Stop.
We got to drive to the pit, right? I mean, the pit can't come to you.
Put 4 new ones. Here's his interview afterwards, Lummy.
Yes.
Field. I know this isn't how you wanted it to come to a close. What was your experience like as a whole?
Well, I was having the best day of my life. Ripping around Daytona like a bald eagle. It's flat out, avoided a wreck.
You know what he reminds me of, Seth? A Kenny Powers. Does he not, kind of?
From what I've seen so far, yeah, he's a character.
He's the Kenny Powers of racing. I was running around there like a bald eagle.
As a whole.
Well, I was having the best day of my life. Ripping around Daytona like a bald eagle. It's flat.
Ripping around Tona like a bald eagle. By the way, Lummy, he's got a K1 suit. That's the same suit that my buddy JR, he owns the company.
Nice.
And if I ever needed a new suit, maybe, Lummy, if I'm getting back into Crown Vics, I need to get me a new suit.
Yeah, you do, Bubba. So. Always.
Like a black.
And they're different than they were 5-6 years ago. They're tighter, but they're a little more elastic. They stretch into certain areas.
I gotta get a hold of my boy JR. And get me. Yeah, you
can't have a jobber suit.
Yeah, I got my old Mopar suit.
Something with the bulge this time, though.
Yeah.
Make my penis look bigger.
I mean, God, the last
extra material.
Yeah, all the race suits I saw you in before, man. It looked like that you were
not well hung.
You were,
okay. Tinky winky.
Looked like you were tough.
Dear JR, the owner of K1, when you build my suit in, can you build me like a
pouch?
like a plastic,
padded plastic bulge?
Yeah, so I look like I'm really well hung.
Something very lifelike. You can even mold Bubba's bulge.
By the way, anybody that's listening to the show that's either in racing or thinking about starting your son in racing or just maybe K1 that's the suit that Kyle Larson wears. It's just, I think it's taken over the suit industry. They are by far the best fire suits, bar none. When Kyle Larson runs a K1, you need to have a K1. So, Lummy, I think I'm going to get my measurements and get me a new all black, like Bubba Army. And then, Lummy, I could put Sunbelt and Skag.
There you go.
Giant Recreation World, all my Synergy, West to West. I could put all of them in there.
Of course, yeah.
And Cletus McFarland has a K1.
Avoided a wreck, which was awesome. I thought I was the best driver to ever exist in that moment. And it's probably because my sleeves were cut off that I was able to pull off that maneuver, come down pit road. Then someone slammed into my rear left quarter, spun me out, lived through that, got some fresh tires, went back out there. I'm hot dogging into 1 and 2, and the car lost it in front of me, and I saw it, didn't have enough brakes to get slowed down before it, and tried to go around it, misread it, zigged instead of zagged when I should have zagged, and I zigged, and bam, blew the front end right off my hot rod.
I hate that for you. And before we came to this interview, you were watching that jet taking off. Have you ever seen anything like that? You seemed pretty impressed by it when you were just standing here.
Yeah, I'm the pilot of Consuela. You know what I mean? I got basically the baddest aircraft in the country, but that F-16 is pretty cool.
By the way, I think Consuela's like a 1959 Piper Cub that goes like 81 miles an hour.
Like 110 horsepower?
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, Garrett.
Or does he have CTE?
I don't know.
Okay.
Mitchell, obviously. Cletus, an early exit from the race. We hope he'll join us again.
Man, now that is getting after it. That's straight,
Straight up.
Yeah.
And though here in ARCA at some point.
Yeah, let me remind me. I got to get a hold of JR from
K1.
From K1, yeah. Give me some gloves, give me some boots, give me a new uniform. I probably need to get me a new helmet, new Hans. What are Hans devices costing nowadays? I know, Dan, you wear one.
Mm-hmm.
I gave mine away when I retired from racing. I gave mine away to this kid, David Markham Jr., who was racing and didn't have one. I'm like, listen, you cannot race without a Hans device. You've got to have a Hans device.
There's a variation of how much they cost. The cheapest ones are about $300-400. The nicest ones are about $1,200-1,500.
I'm gonna give me a $300 one.
Yeah,
Well, it just depends if you want plastic, carbon.
But about 500. It looks like right
That's
now.
okay. I could probably run that. Yeah.
You can use mine if you need.
Yeah, I could. I could just
You
probably
use it for a couple times.
Yeah, I'm only going to be racing,
half a dozen times.
like maybe 6 times the rest of this year.
Yeah, you can use it for those weekends.
Thanks, buddy.
It's carbon. It's light. It's nice.
When we get back, again, worst flu in years. They're just trying to condition us to get that shot, get that flu shot.
Who said Macho Man had it?
Macho Man's dying of the flu?
Macho Man said he had it.
Oh, no.
Macho Man, listen, I love him to death, but he's a hypochondriac.
Is he here today?
Not only is he a hypochondriac in life, but he's a hypochondriac on his car.
Oh, really? Like if he hears like a sound, he's got to take it in?
Right to Brandon Ford. They hook it right up on the diagnostic machine. Tell you what's wrong with it. Yeah. When we come back, it's the worst flu in years, they're saying. And what's the guy's name? The kicker from the
Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker, which if he didn't have this sexual scandal, would probably be a first-time Hall of Famer. Arguably one of the greatest kickers in the history of the NFL. He's now up to what? Is it 16, Seth? 16, 17?
I believe it's 16.
Yeah, 16 women says that when he goes and gets full-body massages, it's wiener inclusive. And here's the deal, man. It's not supposed to be wiener inclusive, but if the woman takes the initiative to grab the ween, then it's okay. But
I don't think that happened here, Bubba.
No, but no, it obviously didn't because they're not going to be suing him.
Because then when you don't grab it, then these guys are rubbing it up, and then they're ripping the blanket
off.
off.
If you're just like a regular woman and you got him draped, and next thing you know, he rips a blanket off. He's got this big old ween hanging out, and then he makes suggestive comments for you to touch the ween, and then maybe brushes your arm against the ween.
I mean, my whole goal of getting massage is for the lady not to see my ween.
That's
my goal.
Right, and to keep it down.
Yeah.
You know,
I
mean, you get all relaxed, and all of a sudden you got to go to the bathroom, and oh no, just keep massaging my back.
I keep my underwear on. I don't want them.
I did too, and this lady one time it was
shamed you.
No, I shaved before I went in there. I shaved my back. She told me, she said that she could work it a lot better if next time I didn't have my underpants on.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They shame you for trying to leave your underpants on.
Oh, yeah, shame me.
She might have.
No, not shave. No, you got to put your fingers through the hair.
That might be a masseuse that wants the ween.
But I don't know, man. I just don't. I mean, I haven't had 1,000 massages, but I've had multiple massages. I can't imagine trying to convince the masseuse to start touching it. And then what do you do when they like make a face at you and no, and then you just sit there and you just finish the massage even though you've already committed a sexual crime?
Justin Tucker left his sample behind on the table.
See,
and
that's
then
disgusting.
left.
That's what kind of heathens would do that. That's
kickers, man. Kickers.
Hello.
They're not wired the same.
Hello, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. Mike from Lithia. I'd have to agree with Seth. Definitely a kicker thing for sure. Hey, I got in the truck late this morning, man, and I caught Dr. Dan calling Warren Sapp a bitch. What happened in the interview? I saw the beginning part of it. If you've already been over it and you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I'll circle back through YouTube or a different format. And look.
Warren Sapp's the kind of guy that if he doesn't get his way, he cries, takes his ball home, and just quits like a little bitch.
Well, I thought I asked him a pretty legitimate question. He turned it around on me on something that happened years ago when he wouldn't take a picture that I've not really brought up in years, but he brought it up and then made it all about him and tried to turn around to make me look like the bad guy. And realistically, I was just asking him a legitimate question about, as he succeeds at Colorado, will that eventually open up potentially a head coaching job at an HBCU or others? And he just flipped out over that question, which I think is a very inbounds and very, very good question. But he made it all about himself. He made it all about this one incident that we had 20-some years ago, and he hung up on me.
Does that go all the way back to the picture deal, Bubba?
Yeah. I don't flick bit. Yeah. So, and I didn't bring. I've not brought it up, and I didn't bring it up. He did. So that's what it went back to.
Well, he probably sealed his own fate then, as far as coaching or anything like that. If he's going to have an attitude like that, I thought that might have been a good interview, but
it was. It's a great interview until the last 3 minutes. So appreciate you. Go follow us on YouTube or wherever. Don't forget we have daily podcasts that go up. Download those as well. Appreciate you, my friend. Thanks. Hello.
Good morning, Bubba. It's Longwood, not Langwood. I would just like to say, what a great time I had out at BRP over the weekend. The Nash brothers, Big Red, Big Buck, Mitch DeMark. You've got such a great group of people around you, Bubba, man. Screw the haters. You're doing great. We all love you, and that's all I wanted to say.
Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you.
Damn, Longwood came down?
Yeah, Longwood came down.
Up in Nashville.
There was something I was going to ask you to pull for me, and I completely forgot what it was just now. Damn it. I wanted you to pull something for me, and I can't find
something for the Skag guys.
No. Oh, I know what I wanted. I wanted to know what Craig and Rio's response to the Kendrick Lamar halftime show, because I know, Seth, you asked them. I know that they had an opinion about it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know, I didn't get a chance to listen to the podcast, but I wanted to know what those two gentlemen thought about the Kendrick Lamar things, because I know everybody's going to try to, be Bubba's a boomer. Bubba doesn't quite understand. But as now time, well over a week and a day.
You'd like some black people to co-sign with you.
No,
it's okay.
I would like to show that I wasn't the first person that was scratching my head on why the NFL would allow this sort of nonsense. And, this and continue a personal beef on their stage, and how it's becoming more and more people are saying that it sucked. It was too inside for the average person, and all it did was divide us more than we were before. This was a very divisive presentation, and I wanted Craig and Rio's spin on it. They're usually right down the middle. They say it like it is. They're two African-American guys that do not care what you think about their opinion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you want me to tell you, or you want it to get pulled?
I like to get pulled.
Okay.
If we could. So hopefully we'll have that by the end of the show. We'll get into the flu. We'll get into the kicker that wants a happy ending and other stuff as well. Be back in a minute. Hold on.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show will be back after this.
Danny.
Yeah.
Are you listening to it?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Okay, because I gotta run to the back. And listen to it real quick.
Hey, Lummy.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be for the. There's too much cussing, man.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's fine if you want to play in the after show, but it's just not. There's no way anybody would possibly have it done today by editing it.
There's that much cussing?
Yeah, I mean it's.
Oh yeah, I know it's an after show uncensored.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they say tits a lot in this.
Oh, okay. Tits, pussy, cock, fuck. Kind of like that stuff. Real men talk.
Not a lot of cock talk. They don't
pussy,
like a lot of
pussy,
cock talk.
pussy and tits.
Tits, yeah, tits.
Tits,
No,
pussy.
a little pussy.
Ass,
little pussy.
asshole?
Asshole. Yo, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time asshole talks. Big time. I can't, man. I saw some of the pictures Colton sent.
I'll show it to you. There's probably only 2 millimeters, maybe 3.
Oh.
Hold on. I put it on alcohol and everything. It's not that big.
Yeah, Rio wanted to just see titties.
Oh, this looks like a sand spur coming out your dick. No, it feels like it's got to feel like a sand spur coming out your dick. I can't even imagine.
What is that? 2?
That's 2 millimeters all day long.
Yeah.
Maybe your hydrogen water's helping you.
Maybe.
I mean, it doesn't seem to be painful.
Yes, times 10. Let me give me that giant recreation talk.
I'm going to.
And then the Cletus talk. Because I want you to send. I want to get that down to him.
Okay, and synergy too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
What up, Nick?
It was like food falling from the sky, Bubba, out of nowhere.
Yeah. Great. See, we're 4. 4's supposed to be 8. We're 26 behind. Jay should be
What's up,
coming
Nick?
in. Is Jay coming in?
Should be.
He's here now.
I thought I heard his car.
You know it's a national holiday today.
I know President's Day. Yippee-yo.
Was President's Day originally Washington's birthday?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Then they folded it into
Lincoln got it. Lincoln got in there.
Yeah, Lincoln got a gimmick, and then
I think Lincoln was in good work, yeah.
Good morning, guys.
Hey,
Jay.
Heard your car.
You heard me?
Oh, I heard you.
There you go.
No, that's what Dan said. I didn't hear anything.
Pulled up like 4 minutes ago, right? Probably. Yeah, Dan heard your car.
Dan was complaining.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios. Aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
If you need anything. And they also have the Weekend Warrior gimmick as well, and that's Sunbelt Rental. You can go to Sunbelt Rentals. That's sunbeltrentals.com. type in your location, like for instance, the one closest here to the studios. I think Lummy is the little kind of mini Sunbelt one they have on over there by Lowe's. I think, or no, Home Depot. I think they got a little substation at Home Depot, but they got the one off of 301, and of course I deal with the one off of State Road. I think 27 on Ocala. Like they're so cool. Like Lummy, we had a row of Musco lighting come out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it burnt. And this our Musco lighting at our track is 20 years old.
Can I ask you what Musco means? Is that a brand?
Yeah, Musco lighting is probably the lightings they have at $1. Like it's the
commercial big like field lighting.
I couldn't even tell you of the next brand of lighting that was like Musco like the Daytona 500 has Musco lighting.
I understand. And stadiums have that kind of stuff.
Yes,
I understand.
It's the best lighting in the world, but our Musco lighting at our track is 20 years old, so they have obviously improved Musco lighting to the point where now it's all of it's LED. So we still have those sodium filled lights.
Are they the ones that take a few moments to kind of like warm up and get bright?
And then if you happen to turn them off, they take like another 15 minutes to reset because they got to cool down. Well, we couldn't afford at this point to completely switch out our old Musco to our new Musco. Like we just can't. It'd probably be $150,000.
Oh, wow.
We don't have Diaco type grip, me and Tom Bean. Tom Bean probably does, but he's not going to throw it to the track. So we had one bank of our Musco lightings in turn 4 go out, and we had an electrician come look at it, Nash's and all those guys, and like, listen, you need like a ballast and some old-time controllers and things like that. So we've ordered all those things. Finding those parts are obsolete. I mean, like they're impossible, but we did find them, but they're 2 or 3 weeks from getting here. So I had this dead dark spot in turn 4 where the racers are coming off the corner, and that spot needed to be lit because they didn't want to hit the wall. So sure enough, called my boy George down at Ocala Sunbelt along with Will, and they got me a light tower that we were able to put up and light that area. But here's the cool thing about light towers. I don't know, Lummy, if you're ever in the light tower business or not, if you've ever rented one, but light towers historically have been these big diesel generators, that you turn on and they power the big lights, and you can have this crank that you crank up like 30 feet, and you can adjust the height of the light. They have these 4 big lights on them, and they can light up about anything. Well, now they come with solar panels, so you don't have to have all that big diesel engine running, being obnoxious. It just you fold these panels out to the side. It soaks up sun all day. Obviously, you don't need the light during the daytime, so it soaks up sun all day. It's completely no motor, no engine. And it works perfectly when when dark falls and you need the lighting. So if you needed a light tower, man, go to the solar ones, because sometimes when you get the diesel ones, they're just obnoxious.
Well, the diesel is probably required to energize the old school sodium lights. Now the new LED lights don't require as much energy, and that's probably why they can get away with solar.
Man, they're so badass. Anyway, thank you to Kevin and Will and George and of course Bob and everybody at Sunbelt that took such great care of us. We had 2 water trucks, 3 water wagons, a Harley rake, a light tower, a skid steer, and a soil pulverizer, all from Sunbelt to make our Winter Nationals go without a hitch. It was just unbelievable. Did I say 2 or 3 water wagons? I think I had 3 water wagons.
So you're pretty confident they'll be back next year?
It
worked out exactly the way you wanted it?
Sunbelt's they are some of the best.
Salt of the earth.
They really are. And then Lummy, yesterday, I was, Saturday night we were done with racing. It was 18 nights of racing. I've just drug ass. But I had to stay on Sunday because that was power washing day. Because when you return the equipment back to Sunbelt, you got to make sure it's full and pressure washed. So I had to pressure wash all of the Sunbelt stuff, all the Beard stuff, all the West to West stuff. Just everybody that we had did a deal with, I had to pressure wash it yesterday. Pressure washing gets exhausting. It makes your hands start cramping up and all kinds of stuff.
Not me. I like it.
You like pressure washing?
Yeah, it's just so...
I don't know if you could handle a pressure washer.
I have one. I only could get it to work for about 10 minutes.
Do you have like an electric one? Like, do you have one that runs on gas, or do you got one of those electric willies?
No, baby, I had one that ran on gas. A rich friend of mine gave it to me when she was moving because she didn't have the space.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's like a real one, high pressure.
Dan, do you own a pressure washer?
No, I own people that have them.
Oh, there you go. Own people.
Yeah.
Owns people.
JD, do you own a pressure washer, or are you the same with Dan? You have people that come and pressure wash for you.
No, I own my own.
Yeah, there you go.
Ryobi.
You got your own?
Yeah.
Ryobi. We were
All right, Dad.
We were cool for a second.
We were going good. Yeah, Jay, you were doing so good until you threw the.
The only reason I said it's because it was after the hurricane. Is what I could get.
Oh, it's all you could get.
That's all I could get.
He was very confident, though.
Don't let them shame you, Jay. There's nothing wrong with Ryobi. It's the future.
It works. It's got gas in it, and oil, and it smells.
Sunbeltrentals.com. It'll guide you where your nearest Sunbelt location is. They got a weekend warrior rate. Well, they'll drop it off by 5 o'clock on Friday. You can use it all day Friday, all day what's left of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Have it ready for them to pick up on Monday, and you only get charged a day. So that's like the best deal going. Thanks again to Bob and Will and Kevin and George. Thank you again so very much. SunbeltRentals.com. I know you use Sunbelt a lot.
I sure do. Love
lot.
them. Love guys. Love them.
You use the one off of 301?
No, the one in Ybor.
Oh, the one in Ybor.
Yeah, Kevin runs all that whole little area.
Is that Kevin's area?
Yes, it is.
Love Kevin.
Yes, he's great.
Thank you, guys. The water trucks absolutely made my event. Because my water trucks are old, and they can't really spray a good pattern, but you get a brand new Sunbelt water 3,000-gallon water truck, and that bitch is laying an absolute even spread of water. That was probably the difference. Thank you, guys. Love y'all. Thank you so much. I think you can also call 1-800-SUNBELT. 1-800-SUNBELT. I think you can also call that as well.
Across the country, cases of the flu are spiking nationwide.
Every year we go through this.
You got 24 million cases, according to the CDC. Some say it's higher than that. You got 300,000 hospitalized, 13,000 deaths, 57 of them children. Dr. Mark Siegel, Fox's senior medical analyst, here on that. Doc, good morning to you. I want to show you a few graphs right now, okay?
What?
This just shows how well our flu immunization campaign has been working.
Not too good?
No, it's ridiculous. We'd be better off. We'd have fewer people die if we did no flu vaccines and just gave everybody Tamiflu. No, just treat it with Tamiflu.
Tamiflu is incredible.
It treats it. No one dies on it. It solves the problem, and you'd save more money and more lives by 86ing the vaccines and just treating people.
But I
travel with
study's been done.
Big Pharma doesn't make as much with Tamiflu that's been around for a long time. They want to jab you.
It's still expensive, Tamiflu.
They want to jab you.
They'll charge you $100.
Viewers at home, the purple line that you're about to see here are the outpatient respiratory illnesses reported thus far. All right,
and you know what this is? You know what this is? This is Big Pharma that's paying Fox to make this the lead news story.
Yep.
Instead of them running a conventional 30-second commercial during the commercial stop sets about, hey, don't forget to get your Pfizer-based flu shot at a pharmacy near yours.
Amazon.
No. That's too much of a canned commercial. But if they organically make it a news story, then people, there's nobody. It
adds credibility.
Nobody's thinking this is an actual, get your flu shot commercial. People are thinking these are two talking heads that are, breaking down the flu situation. So Pfizer and Moderna and stuff, they now go to the news corporations and say, we don't want to buy a 30-second commercial. We want you to make the flu issue part of your story. Make it a news story.
So do you think they're going to have station? And do you think they're going to have a line? Someone's going to say, "Don't forget to get your flu vaccine this season." If that line comes up, then I 100% agree with you on that.
And no, yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see if they say that. But maybe that's a little too,
Well, there'll be a commercial right after this piece. by Pfizer.
This is the flu are spiking nationwide.
Right.
Dr. Mark Siegel, purple line that you're about to see here are the outpatient respiratory illnesses reported thus far, all right? Go in on that. You see where that purple line is? That's where we are right now, coming up on mid-February. Here's another graph I want to show you. This is the flu season so far on the yellow line, 9.2 million cases. A year ago, it was a third of that. Doc, what's going on out there?
Let's see what Doc has to say.
Bill, I just spoke.
Who was probably bought and paid for by. He just spoke to who? Hold on.
To CDC about this, and
Mark
it's
Siegel.
really closer to 35 million cases right now as of today. And I'll tell you what I think is going on. First of all, we came out of the pandemic and we didn't have any blanket of immunity to flu. We hadn't seen flu. We were locked down and we saw COVID. We didn't see flu.
Because
now
flu comes from Australia.
Flu like we haven't seen in a while, and we're seeing two different strains, and it's causing severe illness because our immune systems aren't ready for it. And we're seeing the worst flu season.
And Dan, all the file footage you're showing is people getting jabbed. Mm-hmm. That's all the file footage you're showing.
That's for sure.
Right?
Are you a pussy?
Yes.
Are you a pussy, a Rube, and a sheep if you get the flu vaccine?
I don't think you need it.
I haven't gotten it in years.
I haven't gotten it, and I can't tell you if I ever have gotten it.
Well, I don't think it's a true vaccination. It's a predictive flu vaccine based on what they think the strain's going to be for that year. And
based on what's going on in Australia.
Right.
It's based on what happened in Australia over the summer.
At the beginning of February, 43 states show severe flu. And I'm concerned about this. Again, this is probably worse than the 2009 swine flu. So that.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
That's the number one reason. The other thing that bothers me, Bill, is that we're seeing a lot of associated bronchitis and sinus infections. And as you know, I'm treating both at the same time. It's very hard to do. How do you know if you have the flu? Number one symptom is you feel like you got hit with a ton of bricks. You feel fatigued.
Every day I wake up, I feel that way. Mm-hmm. Life is a ton of bricks for me.
You got muscle aches. You can't get out of bed. RSV and COVID are on their way down. Very low cases.
Listen,
there,
I
so
saw a
that's
guy
good
in
news.
the elevator in my building yesterday. This guy was, he was just, he looked like he had been through the battle and he was at the very beginning of it. So,
so a guy that you saw in the elevator.
What the hell, dude? We're gonna try really hard not to say my boyfriend.
We're gonna report that as a newsworthy Fox credible. Went through standards and practices. I saw a guy on the elevator that went through battle.
Good advice out there.
Have you ever thought about maybe his wife just told him he's leaving her? She's leaving him and she's hooked up with his best friend?
That's right. That's the first thing you can do is wash your hands.
Wash your hands. But by the way,
wash your hands is not any type of flu season. You should wash your hands normally.
Right, great advice.
To just from picking up the various things that you touch during the day. Washing your hands, 2, 3, 4 times a day is, I don't care if it's July or February, you should do that.
If you live in New York, you should wash your hands about 35 times a day because it's filthy.
Cut your hands off and put mittens on the stumps.
Dr. Seth Kushner says cut them off and then put mittens on your stumps.
You're about to get less
is a
diseases
new one
that
really
way.
Works well. You only need to take one pill, and of course your flu shot if you have it.
Hold on. Everybody be quiet. We all talked. Here comes the pitch. Here's the pitch.
By the way, the antiviral drugs we have now are fantastic. Zofluza is a new one that really works well. You only need to take one pill.
Okay.
And, of course, your flu shot, if you haven't had one, helps with severity. Over 300,000 hospitalizations is quite a lot.
Okay, so there's this other story I want to get to. I've never thought about this. I've never heard of it. It's called microplastics. And there's a new study out there that suggests that we've got a lot of this inside here of our human bodies. They're less than 5 millimeters in size, smaller than a pencil.
Now, hold on. Aren't they really
5 microns.
Aren't they really confusing the issue here?
Yeah.
We're going from flu to the plastics that we may have in our testicles.
But he got the brand new, not generic flu treatment out and the vaccine, which he then under his breath says will help prevent severity.
Just like you said.
Got the brand new pill. And with a potential shot kicker.
Which he says doesn't even prevent the disease. He says what helps with severity.
And then let's go ahead and shift gears and keep your eyes off the shiny object because we already had the genuine, placement of the ad. Now let's go to microplastics that our body is consuming.
Eraser. Humans consume 5 grams of microplastics every week. I don't know where they come from, Doc, but you're about to tell me. Average brain had 7 grams of microplastics, more than the weight of a plastic spoon. Did you know about this, and what do we need to understand about it?
And they're only throwing this in to get you off of the fact that the flu thing was an infomercial. That's what they're doing.
I knew about it, but I learned something today. First of all, it's up 50% over the last decade, and recent studies have shown that it's clogging your heart, and it can lead to heart disease and strokes. But, Bill, what I learned today is that it's 3 to 4 times likely that you're going to get dementia from this. These are not, or related to this, these are not innocent bystanders. These are coming from places like ultra-processed foods and the water bottles you have. So, look, RFK Jr.'s idea of cleaning up...
That's why I drink Lummi Aqua Bieto, which is on an aluminum can.
That's right.
And put it in my nitrogen converter, which is glass. That's how I consume my water.
So that means that all the millennials that drank bottled water for the last... So that means that all the millennials that drank bottled water for the last 20 years not only clogged up the ocean, but now they're all going to all going to have Alzheimer's.
That means Trey, Sophia, Danny, and who's
Sage.
And Sage all have a large amount of plastics in their head.
That probably means more like the Nick and Bella, that age group, because my kids were drinking out of these metal, these like
Stanley
Yeti
cups.
type things. Yeah.
Babies moving away from bottled water might actually be a path forward that makes a lot of sense. The water bottles you have are loaded with these
Well, the water bottles, not only are they loaded with these microplastics, but they're absolutely horrible for the environment.
Mm-hmm. All these people that said, you're ruining the environment with that gas car are taking their bottles and destroying the oceans and everyone's brains, apparently.
As are the ultra-processed foods. We got to get them out of our diet.
Okay, I think there's more to talk about on this.
I think it's way too late. Before I go to words, and we got Jay here, how messy could this be? Kanye West and Bianca, his wife, reportedly have split up, and it could get messy without a prenup. It's my understanding about prenups and things like that, as I had one. I think we all have one.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all have one. But
Phoebe made me sign one.
She did.
Yeah.
I think,
is that true? Is that true, Sam?
I think Warren had to sign. I think Ashley made Warren sign one as well.
Did you?
Ashley makes 6 figures.
No, back then I actually asked for a prenup.
Right.
Good thing I did.
She told you to pack sand.
Yeah, she did.
But it's my understanding, like as scary as this may seem for Yeezy, it would only be, and Jay, you correct me, or Dan, it would, if he didn't have one, it would only be for the income or property or possessions that he obtained while being married to her. It wouldn't be anything that he was worth or owned prior to marriage.
Unless he put it into a joint account, and then it's all fair game.
Okay.
And California's got some crazy laws compared to here. It's
so
California marriage.
Could they roll it back to his belongings, possessions, and personal wealth prior to marrying her? I thought the clock just started ticking when the marriage took place.
It should. And he hasn't arguably made the most money in the last 18 months.
Right. What if he lost money?
In Florida.
What if he lost money and he'd be like, I don't owe you nothing.
He did lose a lot of money when he was going on the Jewish rants, much like he is now. But
I don't know how well the Nazi shirt sold.
Well, he's back. He is back to being a billionaire. I know that knocked him down when the Yeezys deal went through and everything like that, and Adidas dropped him. So
so he reaccumulated $1 billion in the last 2 years. He could end up having to write a really big check.
That'd be great, because the thing that he's proud about most is that he's a billionaire.
Half a billionaire.
Welcome to $500 million.
When we come back, Kanye's divorce and Justin Tucker's wanting a happy ending with his massage, the field goal kicker, or the place kicker, I should say, for the Baltimore Ravens. Both of those stories next.
Want to listen to the show on demand and on the go? Enlist today at BubbaArmyHQ.com. Sign up and start listening. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Okay. Oh. Hey, Lummy, I know. Have we made that Hogan stop the wrestling union? Have we made that into a?
Yes.
That's the number one thing listed as to why people hate him.
Yeah, it was in the Jeff Ventura talk.
I don't know if we re-release that or
baseball, getting shot in the stomach. You know, I'm figuring my life out. It's all trans.
Play around with maybe adding more film in there, mix it up.
So funny. Can you do those trophies? Yeah, no. I got a massive one. I got a massive one, the SF90. Last year, I should have bought the Strada. Would have been nice. Couldn't put it right there.
I sent you the Operation Pigmentation. They got it up over the weekend. Right in Gary. It's on our Facebook. It's edited, or it's censored.
Okay.
Talk.
Good morning. How are you doing, Lenny? What's up, Permagron? How you doing, buddy? Abu Dhabi was killer. I won the contest for the Fantasy League. I won the women's contest last week, and I won at Pipeline, and I won Abu Dhabi for the men's this week with a bunch of pro surfer dudes, and I don't know shit. That Katie Simmers girl surfs like unbelievable. What's up, Dave Rocket 69? How you doing, buddy? What's up, Grouper Lips? How's everybody doing? HS Bubba Fan 69. What's up, John Kostika? Hey, Thomas Yelson. How's everybody doing? Eat more coleslaw. What's up, buddy? You know, Permagrom, it made me appreciate that we actually surf that wave pretty damn good when you see pros falling on it. They had the Abu Dhabi surf contest. They had another surf ranch. They put it.
Did you go to Abu Dhabi?
And it's about a foot bigger.
Yep.
And
did you go there?
Oh yeah.
Bigger, but you can see pros.
In Dubai?
They fall. And it's like, dude, you never watch it going.
Jay, did you go to Abu Dhabi?
I mean, with the turns are getting.
Yeah, he ain't listening.
What's that?
Did you go to Abu Dhabi?
I've never been there, no, but they just put a surf ranch to the same kind of wave pool we surf, the same exact Kelly Slater technology in the middle of Abu Dhabi. So they had a professional World Surf League competition there
they're
this
gonna
weekend.
kill it.
It's pretty cool. It's right like in the middle of the desert with the skyline of Abu Dhabi behind it. It's like when you look at the wave, you see the skyline of those two big buildings. It's pretty cool. What's up, White Iced Tea? Biggie.
Hey, Seth, is that President Trump? Is a hockey game over? Did Canada win?
No, USA won.
Oh, they did?
I think the championship's
USA
tonight.
dominated.
Do they play Finland?
Where's the championship tonight, Lummy?
I think they lost to Finland the first game.
Okay, we'll go through. I'll have you guys. We'll navigate through.
I don't know who's left. I just know Canada's out.
Yeah, Canada.
And are we left?
Yes. They
Canada.
play tonight.
Good old Canada. They booed us.
Did you have a second on? You don't want to go over that Bubba needs it. When's he need it by? In the next. Of course. Got a carbon fiber one I can let him borrow. Fancy.
Oh, Thursday's the final. Sorry.
Dude,
Tonight's Canada versus Canada versus Finland.
Oh, okay.
Sweden versus the U.S.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito Studios. Aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Oh my God, Lummy, I missed a hundo from Johnny K. Woo! The steel slinging madman, head of the Hoosier sleeper cell, Johnny Costico, $100 on the PayPal. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all at the Bubba Army. Fish on the J. I got Felix Brajales. All on the PayPal today. Thank you so very much. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. That's how we stay on the air. It's a very odd. It's unlike any other radio or content show out there. We rely heavily on our, obviously the things that we do on Facebook and YouTube and Rumble and all of those, all of those income sources, podcasting. But PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App are, probably our largest things that keep us on the air.
Other people are following that format, believe it or not, Bubba. I've seen it in surfing bloggers, guys that do these incredible videos on YouTube, and now they'll go live and they'll just talk to people in the chat and they'll get money.
Yeah.
I've never seen it in any other forum, but it just started about 6 months ago.
We might have been one of the forefathers of that.
I would say so. I had never seen any type of broadcaster, whether it be a blogger, a vlogger, or whatever, do it other than you.
Yeah.
And now I see it all over. I also see podcasts where they allow people to ask questions for charging money.
Nobody's better at begging and grifting than us, my friend.
No, it's just revolutionary. You're an independent pub,
Kanye West and Bianca Censori have found themselves at the center of a swirling divorce speculation once again. Despite pushing back against rumors, new reports indicate that representatives for both Kanye and Bianca have contacted divorce lawyers, signaling that their marriage may be on the brink. Boy, when both parties have gotten a hold of divorce lawyers, and then usually those, and you're affluent, those divorce lawyers automatically call each other and say, we got a couple of live ones on the hook here. Let's do this song called Churn, Baby, Churn. I mean,
keep on churning.
Man, Richard Fabrizi told me the best advice ever, and Jay, you're probably not going to. You'll probably actually get a big kick of this being an attorney. So I go and I'm fighting Tyler's mom for custody. And because I'm Bubba the Love Sponge, I'm instantaneously given none. The little kid pops out, and because I'm Bubba the Love Sponge and I got strippers and squirt Olympics and been on trial and all this kind of nonsense, I am a bad person. I'm a bad dad, even though I've never been a dad. I'm a single guy at this point living in a big ass mansion, and they have positioned me that I am going to be absolutely a monster of a father. So initially the judge gives me 0 visitation. None.
What?
None.
That's mean.
So
that's just flat out mean. And that's actually contrary to Florida law right now.
I know.
Contrary to the best interest of the child.
Right.
And this is in 2000. This is in June of 2002.
That's gross.
So they got me absolutely spun as the monster. So I have to, at this point, because Florida, and I think it's case law that your mother established, but if there is such a disparagement between the two incomes,
yes,
then the father, or I'm sorry,
the richer
of the two has to pay both.
Yeah, you can thank Arlene for that, Bubba.
I think that might be Diaco versus Diaco case law.
It's Diaco v. Diaco, Florida case law.
Thank you, Arlene. You really jacked me up on it, baby. So
she's like, I will not be denied.
Yeah. So I go and I get Nancy Harris. God bless her little soul. She was kind of the OG. She kind of handed off the torch to Gina as the really, really, really popular female hard-nosed family attorney. Gina has since taken over that torch. I think Nancy's kind of wrapping it up nowadays. And Nancy became recommended to me from Ron Diaz when he went through his divorce. And at that point, she did some very. I think she handled Bob. I'm sorry, the inventor of
Tony Little?
No, the inventor of Outback, Bob Basham.
She's a badass.
Yeah, she's a badass.
She's a badass.
She is an absolute badass. So she goes, Bubba, I'm telling you, under this new state law or this, you have to pay for Jenna's and yours. And I need Cliff Curry needs 25,000, and I need 25,000 down. Retainer. So what's my dumb ass do? I write out 25,000 to Cliff Curry, and I write out 25,000 Nancy Harris.
And you follow the Hogan rule, which is as soon as you write that first check, the bills keep coming.
So hold on. So I go back home, and Fabrizi's outside with no shirt on, water in his truck or something. I don't know. And he goes, "Hey, what'd you do today?" And I said, "I lost $50,000. He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I just wrote a check for 50,000, 25 for my legal representation and 25 for her." And he goes, "You idiot." He said, "What you do?" He said, "Now you've shown these two that you have the ability to pay like a sucker." And he said, "What you should have done, and this thing would be settled far sooner, is you tell them both, hey, I can get you each $7,500 and I can start paying that down every couple weeks. But I cannot just come up with 50 overnight. I can't."
Yep.
And he said, at that point, they're going to call each other up and say, "We got a slow pay Willie here. Let's get this thing handled." Instead of, I just literally like a sucker, just ate that. I swallowed that hook they set that hook as deep as they could. And they called each other and said, "Hey, he just scratched out 50. There's a lot more where that came from."
Oof.
And he said, "So
how much did it cost you total?
300.
Just the lawyers.
300.
And lawyers?
300.
And just lawyers.
Yep.
That's disgusting.
Yep.
Man, my dad used to tell me ain't no piece of poontang worth that.
Yeah. So I had to pay for forensic accounting. Oof. I had to pay for child psychiatrist. I had to pay for a child psychologist. And then I had to meet with a guy named Dr. Krongold and had to have a in-person administered IQ test where he administered it. Not like just they give you a piece of paper and tell you to fill out. It was an oral IQ test. And then I had to completely baby-proof my entire home with Dr. Krongold coming out and looking at, make sure every outlet had those little plugs in it, making sure that my pool had a fence around it, making sure that every drawer had a special stop on it. Had to do that. And then here's now this would be so unfair and so not cool. But so they want to do an observation around me and the kid and Tyler's mother. So they have us meet at Dr. Krongold's office, and they have me sit in one corner and Jenna sit in the other corner, and they put the kid in the middle, and they see who the kid crawls to. Well,
that's
the kid's going to crawl to the person that's got the boob that he's sucking on every night.
No kidding.
So I'm
what
like,
a crappy test.
And then they write that down. Kid,
crawls to mom with the breastfeeding.
So at first, they immediately give me supervised visitation, which was 45 minutes at the US 19 and East Bay Applebee's or Chili's, one of the two, I forget. And I would go there for 45 minutes. I had to have my sister with me or Jean Lasker. I don't know why I had to have my sister or Jean Lasker, but usually it was my sister. And Tyler's mom and her mom would hand me the kid, and I would be able to spend 45 minutes with it in the general dining area. Like I'd have a bottle ready, and I'd try to talk to it and love on it. And then that went for 6 months, and then we advanced it. I got a little bit more where I could meet them at a park and spend an hour with them.
Did you ever tap that ass again?
No. And she's a good mom, and she was doing what she was being advised, and she was, the laws have changed drastically now. I was on the last part of the dad has no, most dads at that point, no matter how well they graded out, got Wednesdays and every other weekend.
Yeah.
That's how it went.
Well, there's a different presumption now in the law, and that is for equal co-parenting,
right.
time sharing.
I might have started that. So after I tested out, through the IQ test and through the doctors talking to me and realizing I'm not the same guy on the air as I am off, we went to mediation, and Nancy Harris and Cliff were just arguing back and forth. And I got 50, we got 50-50, where I had to pay for all school, all dental, all health, I had to pay for everything. Like, she paid for nothing, and I wrote her a check each month for child support. So I knew what I had a child support check, and then I had to pay for any incidentals such as schooling, orthodontic. He had braces,
football cleats,
and I had to keep him on my insurance. I had to do
You wouldn't have dropped him from your insurance, would you?
Yeah, let him go bare.
No. But because I worked for a major corporation at the time, I carried the insurance.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was just heartbreaking to go through that, and after it was all said and done,
to be right,
$300,000 to get hold on. I had to spend $300,000 to get what should have been afforded to me for free.
And think of all the people that can't afford that don't have that opportunity. I'm just looking back at my mom's and dad's case. It was in 1978. They didn't even afford the woman a lawyer. My grandfather paid. I'm just looking at it. And my dad was trying to argue that she's okay because grandpa paid for it. And the court said, no, you're going to reimburse her for reasonable attorney's fees. And you want to know what they were fighting over? My dad was paying us $600 per month for child support for all three of us. 200 a piece. And my mom was getting...
It was probably actually $400 for Danny and then $100 for you and Steve.
Correct. And then the alimony was only $325 a month.
So
and my mom was simply requesting it to $525. And they had to go to these hearings. And you know what my dad was making at the time? $80,000. That's it.
Well, this is the 70s.
I know, but I'm just saying it was like, it's just incredible how they fought over something that seemed
making
so
$80,000
minuscule,
a year,
but it helped so many people.
And his bill was $1,000 a month, essentially.
Here's my suggestion to anybody that I know is going through family law or a breakup or a divorce and child support and child custody and things like that. Try to get along with a significant other. Try to hammer it out and try to get it all hammered out so that you agree on visitation, you agree on child support.
You mean to avoid having to hire a lawyer?
No. Then go to a lawyer. Go to like a Gina Hunter, and together.
I won't say like, hey, we're cool.
Do a collaborative.
Yeah. Say, listen, we've worked out pretty much everything. Now, can you paper it for us? Make it legal. Send it through the system. And we, do what lawyers do, but hammer it out because, man, you get two attorneys that are adversarial or they know there's a little bit of money and they're like sharks and chumming up the water. They do talk.
Yep.
Jay will tell you they talk.
They do talk.
It's a dirty game. There's a reason I don't do family law because I couldn't stomach billing people to fight over their silverware or a trash bin or whatever they're fighting over. They don't care. Fight. I'll bill by the hour. And
here's the deal: they get you at your most vulnerable point in life.
Yep.
Because they're involving children, your pride, your possession, your home.
It's emotionally charged.
Oh yeah. I mean, like in us men, for the most part, are not wired to let any of that go. We're not wired to give up on our kids. We're not wired to give up on our house. We're not wired to have to sell a car or two. We're just not. And so, we feel as if, especially if you have your significant other is a stay-at-home mother or something like that. Let me be different with you and Phoebe, who are full-time, workers and are contributing, if not as much, if not more than you are, then that's a different set of parameters. But when you get a stay-at-home mom, you get a big-time breadwinner like Jay or me or Jay back in the day, Danny, Steve, then and they play on your emotions.
Oh, absolutely. And in the old days, Bubba, divorce was a really bad deal for women. And when it came to child custody, it was a really bad deal for men. And the presumptions, like I've been saying, have changed so much that now men almost have a right to 50% of the custody. They don't have to fight for that.
Actually, Dan, I think last time we had Gina in here and some of the laws that had been passed, that's the starting point.
That's the starting point is 50-50. And the starting point is a presumption against alimony. So instead of this assumption that like the man is going to pay for everything for the girl and everything for the kids for the rest of his life, it's become a little bit more fair.
Right.
And so the point of it all...
And athletes aren't getting as killed as bad either.
No, and they shouldn't be.
And they're saying, you $20,000 a month for a kid. The courts are stepping in and say, listen, I know the guy makes X amount of dollars, but there has to be a cap
on it. You know, it didn't take $20,000 to raise a kid.
Right. And the original rules and the original laws were to prevent a burden on the state. They didn't want kids to have no chance of survival. They didn't want moms to be on Medicaid and welfare. They wanted the husband that was divorcing the woman to have the responsibility to keep that person off the state's teat.
I remember the day after we had just went to mediation and we had finally finalized it all. And I was driving home and I called Tyler's mom. And we were just both very emotional. We're like, man, this has been absolutely an eye-opening experience. And she was like, I didn't mean for it to be this bad. And we were really at peace with each other. And after it was done and said, but I feel as if the lawyers, not Gina, because Gina, the way that I know Gina wants to try to be amicable and try to get this thing as settled as you can.
She's no churner.
But she's not a churner, not at all. Nope. But there are some out there, Jay.
For sure, she's dealt with them, and we know the people.
Yeah.
And if you share children, you're going to have to be cordial to the other party for the rest of your life. So you might as well start during the divorce because it's going to save you both.
Don't forget that Nancy Harris, upon meeting her for the first time and stroking down that check, she has this saying that's written on a billboard in her office, and you absolutely have to memorize it, and you have to live by it. And this is what it is. The party that's most likely to procure a positive relationship with the other party is the prevailing party. She makes you learn that.
I never heard that.
Yeah,
she got that on her wall?
No, she's got that on her wall.
Who, Gina?
Say it again?
No, the party that's most likely to procure a positive relationship with the other party will be the prevailing party.
For sure.
Right.
I mean, and so hold on. You have to memorize it.
And that means to those that may not understand, if you try to be friends, if you go beyond the other person and try to keep it peaceful and cordial, you will be rewarded by the court.
The party that's most likely to procure a positive relationship with the other party will be the prevailing party.
Yep. Be nice and you win.
Jay, that could almost be, in some instances, your situation, too, when you have two people battling it out or something like that.
It's one of my...
You very rarely have two people battling it out. It's usually you versus insurance, isn't it?
Yeah, and I usually have a very good relationship with the opposing side because lawyers who dislike you try cases against you, and lawyers who like you respect you and listen to the cases that you have, and you get a whole different level of adversity and less confrontation when you fight when you should, not when you can.
Right.
Or I'd be fighting all day, every day.
If Bianca and Kanye file for divorce, the case could take an unprecedented financial turn, as insiders claim that the couple does not have a prenuptial agreement.
And the poor girl needs clothes.
While West was reportedly lost. Hold on here. I think I'm just not quite. My timing is not quite as good as it would be.
The C Morning Zoo on Z100.
Thank you, Jenny. If they do publicly file for divorce, the case could take unprecedented financial turn, as insiders claim the couple does not have a prenuptial agreement, while West has reportedly lost millions of dollars since marrying Sensori. California law states that assets and debts and accumulated during marriage are equally split. So
$500 million.
So, could she be on the hook? Like, if he's lost, $300,000, could they maybe argue that she's on the hook for half of it?
Yeah. Yes. But if he just became a billionaire again, she's on the hook for about $500 million. Oof.
However, sources indicate that many of West's debts, such as the massive losses on his Malibu property, predate his marriage to Bianca, meaning she wouldn't be held responsible for them. While rumors of divorce gained traction, the couple's longtime rep, I couldn't even begin to pronounce this
Milo
Yiannopoulos.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Denied such claims, saying that this is just a speculation. Yiannopoulos also pointed out that there isn't the first time the media has prematurely reported the split between the two, adding that this is the fifth or sixth time the press has been wrong. Well, you know what? It only takes in being right once on this deal. Despite this, other reports tell a different story. Unnamed insiders claim that Bianca reached her breaking point. Oh, here you go, Seth. Following West's latest controversy of his attempt to sell T-shirts featuring a swastika. The backlash from this incident, which resulted in Shopify shutting down his man. When Shopify, I know that Elon can take your Elon can take your X away, but when they're shutting down your Shopify, wow! Now you have no way to sell it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The backlash from this incident resulted in Shopify shutting down the Yeezy online store. Reportedly caused Sensori to distance herself from West completely. She's had enough. The swastika shirt was selling, was the last straw. She told him that's not who she is, and that she can't be associated with that. She's saying that he has been what? Dominion?
Oh, that's dominion over her?
Yes. Over her. And he's selling those shirts. It reflects her, and she doesn't want any part of it. Well, I think I don't understand who advises him.
Nobody.
I was going to say nobody.
That's a good guess.
On
He
why,
listens to no one.
like why, if you're just a normal thinking human being, why you have been so brilliantly, and you have so brilliantly marketed things like your shoes, where literally your shoes would sell out in an hour upon being released, and people would pay $3,000 and $4,000 for your $400 shoe. You've been a brilliant marketer. Your music's been great. Why do you think that a swastika T-shirt is what America wants?
I can answer it. Because he's a clinical bipolar schizophrenic who's having on live.
In your opinion,
he's in my
he's saying he's
in my
autistic.
opinion,
he's not even.
He's having mental issues where everyone can see it, and I feel badly for him because I feel like people sometimes take advantage of him. But he should have everything shut down because it's really sad to see. And Danny and I have known people who are suffering from conditions which I allege he may or may not be from. But he's already a self-proclaimed autistic. Autism doesn't do this to you, in my experience.
No.
But Danny and I have seen people who go with these highs and these lows.
Bipolar.
And it's hard to watch.
Bipolar people behave in a similar fashion, and it's tough. It's tough to be around them because, again, they're uncontrollable. You can't control them. There's two things that are really frustrating: people with substance abuse and people that are bipolar. Those two will always disappoint you.
And finally, Justin Tucker, inappropriate sexual behavior during massages. This is now 16. 7 additional massage therapists have told the Baltimore Banner about alleged experiences that they've had with longtime Baltimore's kicker, Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker.
He might be getting a divorce soon too.
What did these all happen before he was married?
Yeah, but I mean,
if your wife doesn't want to stick around during that, that's.
I mean, it's so embarrassing. It's just horribly embarrassing.
Like the previous accusations, the new accusations include instances of Tucker exposing himself, touching the women's thighs. There are 7 new accusers, including women who say Tucker acted inappropriate at some time of the city's most luxurious spas, including the spa at the Four Seasons, the Baltimore Spa and Salon at the Ritz-Carlton, which has since closed and been replaced by a new spa. The allegations are similar to those of the women who came forward earlier, including that he had an erection for most of the massage, intentionally and repeatedly exposed his genitals, brushed some of the therapist's thighs and fingers. One of the 7 women said that he left what appeared to be ejaculant on the massage table after the session. The Banner first reported the Banners first reported that Tucker's alleged misconduct at the end of January. The alleged behavior began sometimes between 2012 and 16. Multiple women have accused Tucker of leaving what they look like ejaculant on his massage table. How could you, regardless of who you are, regardless if you're like one of the most popular people in the city, how can you think that ejaculant left behind on a masseuse's table is going to ever be okay?
Maybe it was an accident.
I was going to say maybe he's like a premature Willie.
Man, if he's really found guilty of all this stuff, he should be sentenced to be on his knees and on the wrong side of a glory hole.
The C Morning Zoo on Z100.
Glory hole jokes aren't Z100. That's edgy.
Yeah, probably more like...
The legal views and opinions made by Bubba Esquire are not necessarily those of our advertisers or...
See, I don't have one for Dan. I just have one for myself, Bubba Esquire.
The legal views and opinions...
No, I do have one for Lasker.
The legal views and opinions made by Bubba Esquire are not necessarily those of our advertisers or this radio station.
Maybe I need one for everybody. One for Lummy. Here's Gene's, and it's really...
The color commentary made by Gene Lasker may be offensive to some listeners, and not necessarily the views or opinions of our advertisers or this radio station. Now, let me tell you something. You're not getting any younger, so your language will most likely become obsolete too. How about it?
I love the music. That's awesome.
We need one for Danny. We certainly need... Jay probably will never get himself in a disclaimer trick bag, but Dan, most definitely.
And on that note, you guys have a wonderful day.
See you later, buddy.
I sent you a picture of Justin Tucker's wife.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Ginger.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? It's Pedro the Pool Guy.
Hi, Pedro the Pool Guy. How's your wife's health doing?
She's doing pretty well.
Okay,
Going to go to Tampa next week for a checkout biopsy deal.
So what do you got going on, buddy?
So the reason
you send me this, and it looks like Kendrick Lamar.
That was a Facebook. That's Operation Pigmentation. I sent 3 pictures to you.
All right, I got...
it's a woman in a bikini. It's after the Facebook post.
I know, but okay, it doesn't really show it. It doesn't see. Let me show you my page here. That's all it shows. See? Facebook.
Yes.
Cletus McFarland. Me and Brian, Kozlowski. So, anyway, what do you got for me, Pedro the Pool Guy? Quickly.
I'm a massage therapist for my entire young life.
You were hold on. You got cut off. It was my fault. You were a massage therapist?
No, my mother was.
Oh, your mother was. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and back in the I think either the late 2000s early 2000s or late 90s, she had a massage session with a certain comedian that his tagline was "He never got any respect," and I don't want to say names and shit. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Come on, Pedro. You know better.
Sorry.
Come on.
Wait, did Rodney Dangerfield bang your mom?
You've been on the air so goddamn long. I hate when I have to. Come on.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry.
So hold on. We don't have to. We have to beat around the bush. He's dead now, and we don't have to say that. We're talking about Rodney Dangerfield here, and this is allegedly. I don't know it to be true. Rumor has it, and it comes from you via your mother. So I don't know how credible it is, but go ahead.
He tried to move the towel back gimmick like 3 times, and she kept putting it back over him. And finally, after the 3rd time, he's like, "Okay, this is done. I got to go," and he cut it off because she wouldn't put out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what your mom told you, but we don't really know what happened.
Realistically, she probably took it around the farm.
She probably took it right around the farm and got that extra $250 from Rodney when he was running hard.
You should be happy about that. You probably got some brand new shoes or something.
Right after his back-to-school royalty check came in, my friend.
New backpack?
Yeah, the new backpack.
All right, Pedro the Pool Guy, I got to let you go just for a fear because you slipped up, my friend.
See you guys.
Still love you. When I come back, let me, is the finals...
The finals are Thursday. It looks like USA is in the finals.
And who's the? And this is
It's not. It's Canada versus Finland and USA versus Sweden. And there's I think 8 or 9 Lightning in there.
Really?
Yeah.
From various. Only one Lightning plays for the U.S. That's Brandon Hagen.
No, Jake Gunsell. Brandon Hagen's Canadian.
Oh, now is he playing on the Canadian team?
Yeah, Brandon Poit, Hagel, and Cicerelli.
They're all Canadian.
Correct.
And we only have one.
And Hedman's on Sweden.
And we're only on one. What is this called? This is called the President's Cup?
Four Nations? Four Nations face off.
Four Nations face. Is this the first they've done this in a while?
Yeah, this is in place of the All-Star game.
Yeah,
I think I like this better.
Since 2016, I think.
I think this is much better of the All-Star game.
Wait, Lummy, what are you saying since 2016?
It's the first time they've done it since 2016.
Oh, yeah. This is because I don't know if it was last year, a couple years ago, but Nikita Kucherov did not take the skills competition seriously at all, and he was going slow, and everybody was booing him. So,
and wasn't he shooting the puck like 35 mile an hour or something?
Yeah,
like
he wasn't. He wasn't
when
really
he usually
trying.
can smoke it about $110.
He was just doing what he needed to do. So they're constantly trying to find ways, the NFL, the NBA, and hockey to make the All-Star game or whatever this is exciting. And I think hockey figured it out this year.
I like it. It's the four nations. It's Sweden, Finland, Canada, and the United States. They're all playing it out. Different players from the NHL go to their respective countries and play. The USA has made it to the finals, and we'll talk about that next.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
U.S., Canada, Finland, Sweden. They're keeping it friendly. Except for the U.S. versus Canada. They took it serious. I never seen the grumpy old man.
Oh yeah! Fucking yeah! I don't want to say any names with no respect, guy. Yeah.
Any soccer this weekend, Seth?
Yeah, we had basketball. We got
basketball.
lost 20-6.
My daughter's in the middle of a 3-day volleyball tournament. I've never seen so many kids in one place. I think they had 10,000 people enter.
Where was
they
it?
had 100 courts going at once at the convention center.
Jeez. I know they had, so there's some soccer tournament going on in Plains. Man, this must have been a weekend of
kid sports.
Yeah, geez.
Well, the Super Bowl's over.
Yeah.
Baseball hasn't started.
Travel volleyball is insane.
I'm sure. They take it serious?
Yeah, they take it very serious. I mean, it's like dad's going wild and mom's going wild.
That's
We
gonna be
got some
good.
crazy
I'm gonna
people
be a
on the
great
sidelines.
coach. Yeah, that was with the that was with the therapist, I think, Robert.
There's no doubt, Damien. I was learning that this weekend. It's the first one I've been able to make, so my wife's been fiending for herself alone, which is not easy. Or feigning for herself. These girls can hit the ball too, Damien. It's unbelievable. What's up, Nick? How you doing, buddy? Good morning. way, good morning, Damien. I don't think I've seen you before. How you doing, buddy? Suzuki, Pippi, Short Stroker. What's up, everybody?
Broadcasting live from the Aquabeto studios.
Aquabeto.com/Bubba.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
As the NHL, by the way, the Bubba the Love Sponge show. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all at the Bubba Army. Go to our YouTube, Facebook page, X, Twitter, Twitch, all at the Bubba Army, or anywhere you get your podcasting. Did you send me the excerpt from Craig?
Yes, that was the Facebook one.
Yeah. Did you send that for me? Did it finally come through?
It's the Facebook.
Oh, this one right here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then you sent me something else that didn't come through.
Yeah, Justin Tucker's wife does not want to come through.
It doesn't want to come through.
I don't know why.
I think she has anything to do with any of it.
They had no place in the Super Bowl halftime show.
Here's the thing. If you
Drake.
All right, so now I'm not trying to act like I was right and anybody was wrong. It's just strictly an opinion that people have. I thought the Super Bowl halftime show was horrible. I thought the Super Bowl halftime show was giving Kendrick Lamar a stage to potentially cause the NFL, Fox, and anybody else that had any, Jay-Z, Rock Nation, and anybody that approved it or knew what was going to happen, potentially open themselves up to liability. A libel, slander, defamation lawsuit that's already been filed against Universal Music on behalf of Drake. Hey, it could get thrown out, but I think that the NFL is such a unbelievably careful sanctioning body that I think that, since Jay-Z took over the halftime festivities, which would have been, he took over that responsibility in January of 19. Obviously, at that point, the 2019 Super Bowl had already been completed. So he's had his hand on, and it's been my understanding that he is controlled and is the person that determines the Super Bowl halftime 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and now 25 for 6 years. And for 6 years, I don't know that we've had anything other than R&B and hip hop. If you go back to 20, let me actually find me, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and obviously we know Kendrick Lamar was 25. So since Jay-Z has had his hand in it, I don't think that the Super Bowl has represented its core audience, and that being men 25 to 64. That's arguably about 65 to 70% of their audience, men 25 to 64. I don't know the ethnicity of that. They don't break it into black, white, Latino, what have you. But Lummy, for the last 5 years or 4 years, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, 5 years, we obviously know what 25 was. It was Kendrick Lamar. Who have been the halftime shows? This is since Jay-Z has been the president of halftime entertainment.
Obviously, 25 Kendrick, 24 was Usher.
Okay.
23 was Rihanna.
Right.
22 was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
21 was The Weeknd.
Yeah.
20 was Shakira and Jennifer Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
And
20 doesn't matter because Jay-Z, Rock Nation they didn't sign their deal with the NFL till August. So, but what was 20?
The weekend.
Was,
that's the one.
It
was the weekend at Tampa Bay.
Well, 19 was the one he took over.
I'm sorry, 19.
Yeah,
19.
Maroon 5 with Travis Scott and Big Boy.
Maroon. Okay, now keep going back. 18.
18 was Justin Timberlake.
All right. That is about the last, truly pop culture, universal, not necessarily hip hop. 18 is about the last year that you could see that you could say that most Americans probably know who it is, and it's not pigeonholed itself into R&B hip hop. Continue back.
17 was Lady Gaga.
Okay.
16 was Coldplay.
You know what? To me, those are 3 years without Jay-Z. To me, those are far more appealing years.
15 Katy Perry.
Yeah, better.
14 Bruno Mars.
Better.
13 Beyonce.
Better.
12 Madonna.
Better.
11 Black Eyed Peas.
Better.
2010 The Who.
Okay.
Unreal.
But, I mean, again, better, but
Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band in 09.
So they, so like all of that from 2009 until 2020, it seems as though just on the surface, it's either pop or it's rock or it's something that people can sink their teeth into. And so I, in fact, got into an argument with Red over the deal. I said that Kendrick Lamar's performance was garbage. Was absolutely garbage. It had an agenda. It potentially put very, very, very influential in businesses, and lawyers like JD, they love when billion-dollar businesses might be on the hook. You think Jay wants Farmer Jones he wants to sue Farmer Jones that's got 20 acres and all types of debt, or does he want Amazon to run you over? He wants Amazon with a Publix and a Walmart kicker. That's what these. And so when you're talking about defamation, slander, and libel, and you're going and your plaintiffs, your defendants are the NFL and Fox Network and Universal Music and Kendrick Lamar. I mean, you put those four people together, you probably have nearly $1 billion, multi-billions. I mean, what's the NFL here? Hey, Alexa, what is the NFL worth?
The National Football League, NFL, is worth billions of dollars. By the way, you have a new notification.
No.
Do you want to hear it?
No.
I think when it was $100 billion for the NFL. I think we broke it down. It was like $300 billion.
So $300 billion. I mean, Jay, at that point, you draw up a lawsuit just to hope it sticks.
They'll stroke a check, keep it quiet.
Yeah. You put together. So I was very critical of Kendrick Lamar's performance. One, it wasn't easily understood. And this is really a white and black and young and old thing. The younger generation and the African Americans understood and loved this beef. And the older and potentially Caucasian people didn't understand it. And I don't think the Super Bowl should be where you're airing out your personal beefs with, hold on. If you're Fox or NFL and you're J. Diaco, and I mean, they got a floor of J. Diacos with a floor of J. Diaco backups. And you're saying, hey, I don't know. There's existing litigation on this. I don't know that we jump into that necessarily.
Right.
I mean, listen, I've been sued as much as the next guy, and I kind of got a mind for it a little bit, and I'm not Jay, but I think, when you got your floor full of J. Diacos, and they go to you and say, hey, Jay, listen, he wants to sing not like us, but the bottom line is there's an existing tort on him about this. I don't think we give him the stage to continue that. I think Kendrick Lamar is obviously very talented. Let's go with something that's not so litigious.
Yeah, I would say, what's the lyric specifically? What's the allegations in the lawsuit?
He's saying that Drake is a pedophile and he likes minors.
And is that what the lawsuit's about?
Yeah.
We're not going to run that.
Let's go ahead and
let's pass on that song.
Right, exactly. So I got just absolutely my ass handed to me, even by my own employee that just told me I didn't know what I was talking about.
I did too, Bubba. I posted this on my Diaco Law YouTube thing, and man, I got some heated comments. People are very, very opinionated about this.
So I have not heard Craig and Rio. Operation Pigmentation runs on Tuesday or Wednesday as part of our podcasting network. It's unbelievable. 2 African-American barbers on the South Side that Seth met years ago that's now doing a podcast for us and doing quite well. So these are 2 African-American dudes who I don't know what they're going to say, but I'll tell you what they are. More than they're African-American dudes, they're dudes that just understand society. They get 40, 50 people a day in their chair. They're talking to people. They got that's their business, to cut hair and socialize with people. They could tell you what's happening, what's up, what's cool, what's not, just by the people that they interact with daily. They happen to be African Americans. And so I knew Seth was going to get into this. I've not heard it. And I could be, you know what, my stance and what I say about this could be completely opposite of what they say. But I'm going to put credence into what and how these 2 dudes break this. They're pretty no nonsense. Like, they don't really see color as much as you think they would. They see common sense and a cross section of opinions of people they talk to.
We all see color. I know they tell you you're not supposed to, and that people say they don't, but I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, we see color, and that's okay.
It's okay, but
when you take it, when you decide to hate somebody based off it. I think that's the problem.
But you know, they can opinionize accordingly, and so here is Operation Pigmentation. And Seth, I'm assuming they're just spitballing over Kendrick's appearance.
Yeah.
Me, I guess I was
What's this, Lummy?
Buy it.
Oh no!
I mean, did I? Okay, something skipped by it.
Yes, it did.
Let me find it again. Here we go. This is all right. Here we go. Oh, hold on.
Drake, why would you spend that much time worried about another man?
I just think that it had no place in the Super Bowl
Period.
halftime show.
Here's the thing. If you say you don't like the show, then you're racist or you're old or
I'm black
you don't
and
know.
I didn't like the show.
I think my initial stance on this aligns with 2 of the coolest black guys that I know, who doesn't care what you think about their opinion.
I'm just telling you.
I'm blacker than everybody that was on the show. And goddamn it, I didn't like it.
Let me. We need to get this clip out. Is this clip out already?
Yeah, it's already. It's been out all weekend.
Whitney Houston.
She
sung the goddamn national anthem.
Yeah.
And that's still the best of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what the Super Bowl is for.
To get up and dance.
Representing the country, and we are the best country on the planet, and it ain't about no rap beef. We are united.
Yep.
The United States. So for a few minutes, all the racism, all the bullshit, I don't give a fuck if you gay or not. We are Americans, and we are united.
There were a lot.
Man, I really wish we could
That's
get
our
this.
position
I
statement.
really wish we could get this unedited, Seth. It's so much more effective.
He's awesome.
I mean, it's unedited on the podcast.
Yeah, no, I know. I wish we could get it out unedited.
Because Drake is Canadian.
They don't really push that then.
What's that, Lemmy?
They don't really push it.
Here we go.
White.
And he's mixed.
Right.
Which makes him white.
He's from privilege. And you ain't even from this fucking country.
Yep.
But
Are we
again,
hating on Drake? I thought we loved Drake.
We love Drake.
I don't give a
Kendrick.
one way or the
Okay,
other.
then.
That
Kendrick
didn't
like
have
Drake.
no place at the Super Bowl.
Just because here
I want to
Again, just like I said, this had no this beef had no place at the Super Bowl. And that's 2 African American barbers' opinion from the South Side. Which, I mean, listen, you can like me or not, you can be mad at me or not, which was my position, Lummy, that got me all the heat.
Yes.
see Janet Jackson's come on.
know, guys.
There was nothing about Kendrick Lamar's show that even told you anything about it.
What about Serena Williams?
She was there. She doesn't sing or rap. So why are you there?
Because that was another jab at Drake.
Yep.
And that had no place.
The whole show was geared towards Drake. Why would you spend that much time worried about another man?
I just think that it had no place in the Super Bowl
Period.
halftime show.
Here's the thing. If you
I'm not dropping the mic, but I'm kind of dropping the mic.
There you go.
Because how I saw it and how I scored it is identical to the way two African American men that are in business as barbers and two, that have the pulse of the people that sit in their chairs. I think that them and I had the same opinion. They can use language that I can't. But I find that very refreshing. I hope that clip explodes because that's the way most people saw it.
It was doing pretty good.
The only thing I would add to that, Bubba, is that my 17-year-old thought it sucked too. So I don't know that all kids liked it because my son thought that the music was very average, the performance was average, and he, without all the reasons we say, he thought that the beef was stupid. Literally, he rolled his eyes the entire time, and he loves rap.
When's the last time we had a Super Bowl performance equal out to settling a beef that you got with somebody?
Never, I think.
I don't know that I don't know that The Who had a beef with anybody. I don't know that Madonna had a beef with anybody. I don't know that Rihanna had a beef with anybody. I don't know that all the... listen, one of my favorites, it doesn't have to be all rock band or white people. One of my favorites was the Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem. Right. When they had them each in a white compartment and then they would spotlight it on and then turn it off. That was one of my favorite all times.
Yeah, but you're craving some AC/DC, Bubba. You can say it.
No, I'm not. I'm craving something that's entertaining. I'm craving something that's entertaining. That's it. Here's the World Finals. I'm sorry, what is it called? The Four
Nations?
Yeah, Four Nations. It's what the NHL now is using in lieu of the NHL All-Star game. And this is the Lightning's Brandon Hagel, who I think he plays for what, Finland?
Canada.
Canada. He plays for Canada, and he gets in a fight with a dude.
2 seconds into the game.
Now, is Brandon in the red?
Yeah, I believe that's Canada.
Seth, is Brandon in the red?
I can't really tell.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, but if I play it this way, you can't see it.
No,
ESPN needs to step up.
But in a fight 2 seconds into the first period?
No, they do it all the time. They'll be on the edge of the face-off deal. They'll be like, "Hey, yo, hater, yo, what? You want to go? Yes, as soon as it drops, we're going. Yeah, we're going, buddy. As soon as the face-off, drop the gloves, we're going, What you saying, huh? What's this all about? What do you coach for, USA or Canada?
Canada.
Oh. Then there was 2 more fights right after it.
When we come back, in the headlines, why so many people hate Hulk Hogan.
Oh, boy.
Some of them are my fault.
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Found it, clipped it, and posted it on everything.
Perfect, thank you. And then with potentially a link to...
Yeah, everything has a link with it.
That's funny, Mark Jones. Captain Hawkeye, good morning. This aqua beta water is much more delicious now that I know I'm not putting plastic microfibers in my head.
Oh, there you go. You know, it's weird how when I was growing up,
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
I don't know if I said this earlier today, but thank you so much to Seth and Brian and Lummy and Red and Macho. I heard nothing but unbelievable great things about Thursday's show. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Seth.
No, it's an honor.
It'll allow me to be able to maybe do some one-offs here and there and do some traveling, knowing that you guys will pick up the slack for me. Thank you.
You take March off.
No, I'm not taking
the
March
whole
off.
month off.
No.
Yeah.
I go to the beach.
The article says, why so many people hate Hulk Hogan? Let me, the first of which, I think that we have fairly extensive audio of when he called the show and talked about how he stopped Jesse Ventura's wrestling union. I think we have that.
Yeah, and then he got into his swinging days. Jesse swinging days.
At Plato's Resort.
Yes.
The second reason, he almost everything he did in TNA. So let me, we're a part of that. We got the Jesse Ventura, Plato's Resort swinging deal. We got audio of that. I certainly have a hand in this. It says everything that he did in TNA, and with it, it says he brought in all of his best friends to the company, such as the Nasty Boys and Bubba the Love Sponge. So that's check. He wasn't a big fan of doing jobs. That's not really on me. He was a backstage politician. That's really not on me. He lies all the time. That probably didn't have much to do with me. His views on politics. That's on him. And then he's a racist. And obviously, anybody that would consider him a racist heard his tape that was recorded by me and
that's last on the list. Is the racist?
Yeah, well, no.
Oh, okay.
No, and stolen by an employee. None of which nobody got in trouble except me and Hogan. He overstayed his welcome, and that's it. Those are why people hate Hulk Hogan.
Wow.
Does it say in that article that it actually was stolen by an employee? Did they say it correctly?
No, of course they do not.
I didn't think so.
No. I was actually driving from Ocala last night and saw like a Mercedes Sprinter that was all logoed up and wrapped up that said Real American Beer.
Really?
Yeah. Supposedly, I've heard from very good sources that he didn't get any help on. He completely financed this his entire self, and he's killing it from this beer. Supposedly, he's killing it.
I mean, yeah, he's on Fox News every night promoting it.
Exactly,
I mean, it's
the number one show on Fox News he's on.
WWE News, Hulk Hogan, Real American Beer being sued for negligence. And remember when we talked about how he was throwing beers into the crowd at his very personal appearances? One of them hit a woman in the head.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
Yeah. And
he's throwing full cans of beer that are not even open yet.
He was tossing them,
This has seemingly set the tone for Hogan and the WWE supported beer company since they are now being faced with a negligence suit, according to report from Fox 8. Michelle Herkowitz from Akron, Ohio, is suing Hogan and Real American Beer, claiming that she was hit in the head with an unopened can of beer at a promotional event.
Drop 20 and that's gone. You know,
that's $25,000.
You should drop that right now. Shouldn't even been an article about it.
So yeah, he's being sued. Thank God it's only that. That could probably go away pretty quickly, right?
That's not. I mean, what are the medical expenses? Say she really got like a cut in the head. I mean,
maybe a concussion.
Maybe
a concussion.
Yeah, it's.
And she probably didn't even get cut. She probably just got knocked silly. It didn't really get into the damages. But if you got money, people will come get it, won't they, Jay?
They sure will.
They'll come get it. Jay, appreciate you, my friend.
Appreciate you more.
Lummy, we're going to do the uncensored show. You want to call it 40?
Sounds like a plan.
Seth, 40?
Let's do it.
You good?
Oh, I'm super average.
Fantastic. We'll see you at 40 for the After Hours Monday show. Tomorrow, Clem Cush and Operation Pigmentation. Appreciate you. See you then.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian, Lummit.
It's Seth, co-host and president of podcasting.
It's Brian Matroni, king of counter programming.
Rhett, the filthy ginger video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up Bean.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire of Council.
Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Council.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello.